Evening all. Here we are, Brooksy's Bass Corner, live chat 78 here on the YouTube channel. Tuesday evening, 8 p.m. Coming to you all the way from London town here in the UK. Hope you're well. Hope your bass playing's going great. You're welcome. Come on in. Bass players of the world, unite. Come on in to Brooksy's Bass Corner. As far as I'm concerned, the best YouTube live chat for bass on the YouTube platform. I can't find any others. I keep having a scout around on YouTube at the live feed and can't find any other bass channels doing regular weekly live chats. So come on in, bring all your bass news and your bass advice. And if you've got any bass problems, this is the place to come to. If I can help you in any way, that's what I'm here for. If I can't help you with a bass related problem, perhaps one of the other fine people here on Brooksy's Bass Corner will. We're a clever bunch of people. So if you've got any bass problems, any problems with gear, maybe you're looking to build your own pedal board, maybe you got your first audition to play bass in a band, if I can offer you any advice, any help, that's what we're here for. So you're very welcome. Live chat number 78 here on Brooksy's Bass Corner. So I hope your bass playing's going fabulous. It's been a busy old week. Let me see, when did I last see you? Tuesday last week. It's always Tuesday, of course. I've got a new bass, not for me, but for review here on the channel, review and demo. I went to collect a very nice bass from the ever wonderful Viv Wilcock last week. I went over to the bass gallery in Camden to collect this bass. So you're going to see and hear some of this pretty thing over the next couple of hours. So it's called an H22. It's got a Novak. I think it's a split coil. There's a push pull there on the tone control. So basically all the wonderful short scale loveliness that you would associate with a Wilcock bass, got it here in this package. Not the first bass of Viv's I've reviewed and demoed in my time. Did a couple for Bass Guitar Magazine and Bass Player. One of the first basses I ever reviewed on video here on the channel back in 2020 was a 4P51. But here we have an H22, one pickup, but the coils are splittable in there. Some lovely tortoiseshell binding on the edging and some funky wood. So we've got the spec sheet in the case, so I'll be playing that and letting you hear it later on. So that was a day in itself, collecting that bass from the gallery from Viv. And let me see what else happened. Just lots of things all going on. We had an Uncle Funk show on Saturday out in Sevenoaks near Kent, and been learning songs for the new theatre show and doing content here on the channel. Been editing like crazy, been uploading to TikTok most of the day, scheduling in videos that I thought had already gone. And then when I went to check the account, the videos were just sat there and they'd never been, well, they'd been uploaded, but they haven't been published. So I've been rectifying that most of today and trying to just tidy up some of the social media stuff for the channel. So making sure that all the reels and the videos and the short form content is all where it needs to be doing its thing. So next couple of days, I've got some videos going out on the Flatley pedals that I've had here for review. Thank you very much, Paul Flatley. So we've had the revised Poison Ivy fuzz here. So I did a video review of this back in the early days, 2020, 2021. This is the new improved Poison Ivy fuzz. Sounds fabulous, as with all Paul's pedals. So we've got that one. And then we've got a clean booster for bass. I think it's for bass. Bass Poison Ivy. Bass Ace, this is called. So this is a booster pedal. So kind of boost your levels without going into sort of mad, crazy distortion and hyper gain. So we've got one of those. So there's video reviews and demos going up of these. There'll be some shorts, then the demo video, then I'll do the straight out the box video. So that's all coming your way. We've got the Viv Wilcock H22 short scale bass as well. And then following on from last week's live chat, we've got the Snakebite Neil Murray signature basses from the Bass Centre here in the UK. So there's loads of new stuff coming. It's all coming through. Got more straight out the box pedal reviews, got some more bass reviews, some more demos, just lots of everything really at the moment. So keep watching the channel. I can see two people join us. Visog, good to see you, my friend. Hope you're well. Steffi as well. Good to see you, my dear. Hope your bass playing's going fabulously. Hope that new bass course you were embarking on is starting to deliver some results. So good to see you both. So wherever you are in the world, it's good to see you. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Come on in. This is Live Chat 78 here on Brooksy's Bass Corner for the uninitiated who are joining us maybe for the first time, or you might be watching this after the event. And a couple of them, well, recent live chats have been going that way. We get our steady stream of regulars here on a Tuesday night, and that's fabulous. Thank you very much for coming in and getting involved. But some of the live chats have really sort of started to blow up on the channel, which is great to see. I don't know what's driving it. I try and keep the live chats as consistent in the what we like to call the back end department of the video. So when I'm creating the stuff in the description box and all the tags and metadata and all of that within YouTube, it's fairly consistent. There are small changes from week to week, but they're not huge changes. But a couple of the videos have just absolutely blossomed, one of which has done, I think, about 1,100 views in about 3 or 4 weeks. So thank you very much if you're coming back to the live chat week on week because you're seeing the videos after the event. All I can say is thank you. And thank you to new subscribers. Thank you to all the regulars. Thank you for all the likes and the comments and the shares, new subscribers, merchandise purchases, all of those things. It's fabulous. I can't do it without you guys. So thank you very much for all your attention and watching the videos and enjoying, well, hopefully enjoying them. I produce the content. What happens to it after that, that's pretty much up to you guys. So if you're a new subscriber, a new viewer, or even a seasoned regular, thank you very much. I really do appreciate it. So for the uninitiated, how does all this work? Okay, so you've got the video window that you're watching at the moment. That is the video window. If you're on the mobile app, directly below is the live chat window. If you're on the desktop version, the live chat window is that way. Hopefully the camera's getting some of that. So at the bottom, you'll see a box that says chat or comment or post a comment. I'm getting post a comment because I'm on StreamYard. You put your pointer or cursor in there, type your comment or question, press send, it then appears here in the chat box. I can then respond to it. I can deal with what you're asking. Now, we have a new facility. So we're using StreamYard as my broadcasting platform within YouTube. So now we can have conversations via video. So you don't necessarily just have to stick to the text-based live chat. You can actually come here on screen and talk to me. So if you've got a problem, or say a piece of your bass hardware is broken, or the bridge isn't right, or you're not sure why your bass isn't playing properly, you can actually show it to me on screen via camera. So if you've got a webcam, you're on your phone, on the mobile app, or you've got a separate camera attached to your PC, your Mac, your laptop, you can initiate that. Simply send me an email. You'll see the what's the word? What's that word I'm looking for? Ticker. That's what I'm looking for. There's a ticker running along the bottom of the screen. It says email brooksysbasscorner@gmail.com for an invite to join in on camera. That's how it works. So literally you send me an email at brooksysbasscorner@gmail.com. As soon as it lands here in the inbox, I'll send you an invite to join the live chat. You click on the invite and then you're in the holding room and I can bring you to screen when you're ready, when I'm ready. So that's how that works. So if you want to get involved on the live chat by video, we can now make that happen, which is great to see. So we've done the video window. We've done the live chat window. At the bottom of the live chat window, next to your comment box, you'll see an emoji icon. Feel free to add emojis into the live chat at any point. It's great for the video, great for the channel. The YouTube algorithm loves it. So the more emojis that you guys contribute, fabulous. Next to that, you'll see a rectangle with a dollar symbol in it. That's called Super Chat. That allows you to make a financial contribution to the channel if you wish to do so. You don't have to. I got someone sent a message to the channel last week after last week's live chat saying, don't beg for money. I'm guessing it was someone from foreign climes. They obviously weren't from the UK because the English wasn't particularly good. Don't beg for money. It's not a case of begging for money, but some of us are doing this for a living, as well as playing music and everything else. I never ask anyone to contribute anything to the channel. If you wish to do so, that's absolutely fabulous. But all the videos here on Brooksy's Bass Corner are free. Doesn't cost you anything to watch them. Doesn't cost you anything to contribute to them. Doesn't cost you anything to comment, get involved in the live chat, to share the videos, to give videos thumbs up or anything. I won't ask anyone to pay anything. That's also why I haven't gone down the membership route so far, because I don't think the content at the moment, the way I deliver the content to you guys out there, justifies you guys paying a membership fee for it. There might come a point where I can do certain types of videos and certain types of content that might justify it. But at the moment, there isn't. So that's why I haven't gone down the membership route. However, if you wish to help the channel, move it along, help to pay for the StreamYard subscription, the vidIQ subscription, all the hardware you see, the cameras, the lights, the cables, the basses, the pedals, the strings, the everything you see in the workbench videos, all of that stuff gets paid for. I don't get sent it for free. So that person saying, don't beg for money, I wasn't begging. It's purely some of the regulars here like to contribute, and I'm very appreciative of that. But you don't have to. It's the videos are free to watch. However, if you help to contribute to the channel, I can buy more stuff. I can make better videos. I can make everything look better. I can use more software that requires payment to use it. We can start to bring more elements into the content that's here on the channel. So this year, the big development has been doing the live chats on StreamYard, which now allows you to come on here by video. I can do the overlays. I can have the scrolling tickers, all of those little elements, but I have to pay for that. So you don't have to pay. You don't have to contribute anything if you don't wish to. Lord knows some of the videos here on the channel get huge numbers of views, but no one contributes anything to them. And that's fine. I have no problem with that at all. So the super chat is there if you wish to contribute to the channel and the upkeep of the channel, but you don't have to. Okay. So directly below the video, you will see a thumbs up and a thumbs down. If you're going to give the video a thumbs up, that's absolutely fabulous. Helps to boost the video, boost the channel. I really appreciate that. Thank you. If you're going to give it a thumbs down, then please leave a comment. Let me know what you don't like about the video, what you don't like about the channel. Is it the content? Is it the way it's delivered? Is it the way I present it? If you don't tell me, I can't improve it. Next to the thumbs up and thumbs down icons, you'll see a share icon. So you can share the video out to social media, email, websites, whatever your heart desires. You can then also save the video for watching at a later date. And you'll also see another facility, much like Super Chat, called Super Thanks. Every video on the channel here has that option because every video on Brooksy's Bass Corner is monetized. So if you find something of interest in a video or some advice or some information that's really helpful to you, you can help me and the channel by hitting the Super Thanks button, contributing what you wish to. You don't have to contribute anything if you don't want to, but you can if you wish. And then underneath that row of icons, we've got the description box. So in there, you'll find timestamps, which will be on the video from around midday tomorrow once the video is uploaded to the YouTube platform. After that, you will find affiliate links for vidIQ, the Bass Center here in the UK, StreamYard. There's one more. Top Cashback. So Top Cashback is a service here in the UK. If you buy things online, if the retailer you want to buy the items from is on Top Cashback. You can create yourself an account, use the affiliate link in the description box. You will get £10 of free cash into your account the first time you make a purchase using it. How does it work? You click on the retailer's link in Top Cashback. You go through, find your item, buy it. It comes to your doorstep. You then receive a small amount of commission. It will be a percentage or a fixed amount, comes into your Top Cashback account. Over time, that amount of money builds up, and then you can take it out either as cash into your bank account, or you can have it as gift certificates, gift cards from a whole raft of retailers. I tend to use mine for Amazon stuff. But what it does is it just builds up, becomes free money. So if you buy a lot of stuff online, insurance, mobile, maybe buying a new phone, mobile tariffs, there's literally so many retailers on there. But over, let me get it right, 15 years, I've saved £9,000 or around that figure with Top Cashback. And before I used Top Cashback, there were a couple of other cashback companies I used. In total, since about 2003, I've saved about £14,000. So if you want to help me, help the channel, click on the affiliate link for Top Cashback in the description box. You get £10 of free cash into your account, and you help the channel with an affiliate purchase. So we have affiliate links there for the Base Center, vidIQ, StreamYard, Top Cashback. We've then got base-related affiliate links for Amazon worldwide, Thomann in Germany, again worldwide, Gear for Music, which is, I think, UK based, but it might be Europe as well, and Anderton's here in the UK. So if you've got anything bass related, bass, an amp, effect pedal, gig bag, leads, strings, any accessories, cleaning and maintenance products, use the links in description box. You'll help to keep the channel running by the small amounts of affiliate commission we earn from those retailers. After that, you'll find Brooksy's Bass Corner merchandise links. So I'm sporting the cap tonight, got the long sleeved baseball shirt. Can you see that? I don't know. I don't want to show my belly, but there we go. Anyway, Brooksy's Bass Corner merch. That's all there. 15 designs across about 150 items. Click on the links, go through, have a look at the merch. If you want to help the channel, merch sales are always very much appreciated. After that, you find the social media links. So we're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter X, Be Real, Reddit, Quora, Discord, and TikTok. And as I said earlier, been uploading some new content onto TikTok today. So there are some 60-second bass review short videos up on TikTok today that have only just gone up. So there we are. I see West Fort. Good to see you. I don't recognize you. I don't think you've been here before, but if you haven't, you're very welcome. Good to see you. So let's just check the emails, see if anyone's coming in on video. Not yet. We've got no one going for that. Hope you're all safe and well out there. How's your bass playing going? Hope you've had a busy week. If you've been gigging, we're going to be doing the topic of discussion shortly. So this week, last week we were talking about how to turn your bass skills into cash. This week, I thought we'd pick a topic that's very high in the news. So who got Oasis tickets? So this time last week, it had just been announced that they were going to be doing a comeback tour next year. So here we are a few days after the tickets went on sale. So who got tickets? Who wanted tickets? Who paid the most for their tickets? I'd also like to know, who is the best band or artist you've ever seen live? Did you go? Is it something you heard about from someone else? Is there someone you wished you'd seen that you didn't get to see? So for me, that would be Freddie Mercury. I'm a huge Queen fan. Didn't see Queen with Freddie in '86 on the final tour. Regret of my life, but there we are. So let's hear about your gig experiences. Who's the band you've seen the most? Who's the artist you've seen the most? What's the maximum you've ever spent on a ticket? How much would you be willing to spend to see your favorite artist? Let me know. And we'll come back to that topic throughout the evening. I'm trying to see what else there I need to tell you. So we've done that. We've done that. So as I say, if you want to join in on the video chat instead of using the comments and the text, you can just send an email to brooksy'sbasecorner@gmail.com, which is running along on the ticker at the bottom of the screen. You send me an email, I send you an invite, you click on the invite and you come straight through. That's how that works. Very simple, very easy. I think we've ironed out the gremlins from the past few weeks, so we're all good. Vissel didn't go for Oasis, but got Macca at Christmas. Well, that's not too bad. Well done, sir. You missed Jacko. Big regret for me. Yeah, I think a lot of people assumed he would be around for years and years and years. Little did we know what was going on in his head. Yeah, we did. We missed out there. But see, Jacko died about a month before I first started playing bass, so I didn't really know who he was. But I did actually know a few of the songs, Weather Report songs, because they'd been used a lot on advertising here in the UK over many years for like program trailers and stuff. And quite a few Weather Report things I did actually know. When I got into Weather Report and started buying the albums, it's like, I know this. I know what this is. Steffi, never saw Queen live. I regret that. Yeah, I never saw the original Queen either. I asked my mum to buy tickets and she went, oh, no. And little did we know that was the last opportunity to go and see Freddie and Queen as it was. But there we are. If we're going back into that topic of conversation, best I've ever seen would have been Prince on the Love Sexy tour in 1988. So I've recounted this story before, and there was a live chat back in May 22, because the album Love Sexy came out on the same date as Rio by Duran Duran. So two of my favorite albums of all time were released on the same date, obviously 6 years apart. And I recounted this story on that video, I think. But I loved Purple Rain, and I was aware of Prince from about 1982. Obviously, Purple Rain hit, everyone went ballistic. I really liked the tunes, but I wasn't sure about him and his persona. I was like, yeah, I'm not sure. And my cousins, I've got two male cousins who are one 6 months younger than me and one 6 months older. They were heavily into Prince from about 84, 85. And they would buy the albums the day they came out. So they had Around the World in a Day. And I loved Raspberry Beret, but I wasn't sure about that album. And then Kiss came out and I wasn't sure. And they bought Parade and thought it was amazing. And I was like, I just don't get this. I don't know where this is going. And then in 87, Sign of the Times came out. And I thought, oh, okay. Now I like this. This is good. And I was just getting into James Brown, a lot of funk stuff at that time, and just taking up bass. And then I Could Never Take the Place of Your Man was released as a single. And that was it. I was like, whoa, right, I'm on board with this now. And I started getting into Prince and the back catalogue, and there were more and more programs and concerts on TV. And I was like, wow, this is something special. And in 88, he did Love Sexy tour at Wembley, and I think he did a couple of nights at Birmingham. But anyway, I was in London, so Wembley was going to be the port of call for me. And I think he did about 8 or 9 nights at the same time as Michael Jackson was at the stadium. So you have Michael Jackson at Wembley Stadium on his Bad tour, and Prince doing his Love Sexy thing at Wembley Arena. And one of my cousins, I can't remember if he did one night or a couple of nights, but anyway, he had some extra tickets. And me and a guy I mentioned before, Jamie Fisher, Evening Jay, if you're watching, who we still work together occasionally. And both of us bought the spare tickets off my cousin. Now, now that I know, I should have been jumping at buying that ticket. But I wasn't hesitant, but I was like, not sure I'm going to like it. And yet I'd been watching loads of his concerts on TV, and I thought, do you know what? Just take a punt. Just take a punt. And the ticket was like £11.50. I mean, just ridiculous. And we went along, and we weren't up in the gods. Wembley Arena at that time seemed like quite a big place, but now you look at the O2 and that's like almost double the size. But we were sort of, the gig was in the round, so he was on the floor, and then obviously the seats went up at the sides, and that was fine. We had a huge speaker to our right that was sort of in one corner. Now, personally, I'd have moved away from that had I known what the assault on my ears was going to be like. But anyway, we proceeded to watch the first half. And when the first half came to an end, because it was 2-half show, I literally turned to my left and looked at Jamie, looked at my cousin, and looked at other people in our row, and everyone's mouths were like dumbstruck, utterly dumbstruck, because the Love Sexy show was just off the charts, and it was a roller coaster. There was literally no breaks between the songs. It was one song into another, bang, 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 and it was like someone firing something at you, and you would just keep getting. It was one song after another, bang, bang, bang. You get to the end of the first set, and it was like, what the hell have we just watched? And there actually weren't a lot of hits in the first set. There was a lot of album tracks and sort of canon, you know, things, B-sides and stuff off the Black album. And we all just looked at each other and went, what the hell have we just seen? This was just off the scale. Second set, I mean, it was a home run. And I came out of that gig dumbstruck, totally dumbstruck. I don't think me and my cousin said very much on the way home. I think we were all just like completely blown away. Following day, I went out and bought the back catalogue, every album that was available, and just absolutely stunned. And from that day on, I've been a huge Prince fan. Now, I saw him again 2 years later on the Nude tour, again at Wembley, when I think he did like 14 nights or something. And that was outstanding as well. But it wasn't the blitzkrieg that Love Sexy was. And after that, I never saw him again. I didn't go and see him on the Diamonds and Pearls tour. I didn't get with all the hip hop and the rapping and stuff. That wasn't for me. The following tour after that, which was the Symbol tour, was when he kind of did a show at Wembley Stadium, and everyone came away going, what the hell was that? He'd kind of lost his mojo a bit. And I was gutted I didn't see him play at the Café de Paris in Covent Garden in 98, but I was actually in Moscow at the time, so couldn't go to that. And then every time he played in the UK, I kind of missed out. And in 2007, when he did, like, I think it was 21 nights, literally every night he played, I was out gigging, so I didn't go and see him. Then he did, was it the Hay Festival in Kent? I think Maidstone in 2011, 2008, maybe. And I never saw him again. I was absolutely gutted that I didn't get to see him again, but he was the most amazing show I've ever been to in my life. So let's see who we got. Joe Goose Bass, good to see you, mate. Good to see you. Welcome along. Westford, I'm going to see Richard Boner. Excellent. Fabulous. Bonner. I can't, pronunciation's gone out the window. Visog, oh man, what a badass he is. Yes, exactly. Steffi, but looking forward to seeing Neil again next year. There's no concert dates yet, Steffi. Got to wait and see what gets announced yet. Scott Kirk, good to see you. I don't think I've seen you here before, but you're very welcome. Welcome along. You'll have to settle with seeing them in 2005. Queen, I guess, Paul Rogers. Is that what we're talking about there? Stacey from North Carolina. Evening all. Good to see you. Scott, Prince was one hell of a guitarist and not a bad bass player either. He was just exceptional at everything. I think last week I was trying to show you guys a clip on YouTube, and it just kept sort of not phasing, but it would just go to a white screen. But anyway, there's a clip on YouTube of Prince playing bass along with Party Man from a program called A Musical Portrait that was shown in 1989 with an all graphite bass, and it's just exceptional. I could just watch it over and over again. It blows me away every time. Steffi saying hello to Stacey. Stacey saying hello to Steffi. Scott Kirk, Sign the Times, my favorite album. Favorite album by any artist or just Prince? And I go through phases of thinking Sign the Times is my favorite Prince album, and then I'll I'll listen to Parade and go, no, not sure. I think that might be. I've got a soft spot for the Rainbow Children. I think that's an amazing album. I can listen to that over and over again. One of his finer latter works, if I might say so. Oh, Oasis 2005, we're talking. Very good. Cheers, Scott. His work on the Batman album was brilliant. Yeah, he kind of came out of his peak, I feel like, after Love Sexy. Batman was fine, but I think it could have been better. We won't talk about Graffiti Bridge. I love Diamonds and Pearls as an album, but the whole live thing with the hip hop just wasn't working for me at the time, unfortunately. Stacey, Sign the Times is epic. It is. I listen to it regularly. Vicky Vale. Yeah, we had that joke the other day, didn't we? Vicky Vale. Anne Nolan. Bobby Bird. Slip into James Brown territory. Regale names of anyone you like, really. So yeah, so let me know your gig stories. Who would you buy tickets for at any price? Who's the best artist or band you've ever seen? Who did you not see that you wished you had? Who did you see you wished you hadn't? For me, that's a very easy recollection. So a friend of mine won tickets to see Peter Gabriel in 2004 at Wembley Arena. And I'm a huge Genesis fan. Not necessarily it's got to be Peter Gabriel Genesis or it doesn't count. I like Peter Gabriel, liked some of his solo stuff. And I've always heard his reputation live was meant to be really, really like top draw. But I'm not a huge fan of his solo material. I like some of it, but it's not like I've got all his albums and I know all the songs. Anyway, friend won the tickets. So he's like, do you want to come along? I was like, yeah, I'd love to. We went along. And I have to say that night, and I've seen many a gig at Wembley Arena, it was possibly, and it was in the round. Now, I'd seen Prince in the round at Wembley, and that had been good. Sound was different because that was 1988. Sound technology had come a long way by 2004. But I have to say, it was the worst. Peter Gabriel was the worst mixed gig I've ever seen. I couldn't hear a single bass note all night. It was just complete mush. The vocals were audible, but you couldn't hear what they were saying or singing. I couldn't hear. Tony Levin looked like he played a great gig, but I couldn't tell you any notes he played. And after, I think Sledgehammer was like about 3/4 of the way through the show before the encore. I think we left the song before the encore. And I never leave shows early. It's not my thing. I like to see a whole show. And then I've seen some bands do mediocre shows and amazing encores that have been like 5, 6 songs long. And then that it's like, okay, they pulled it back with that. I simply was not prepared to sit through the rest of the show. And my mate that had won the tickets was like, this is boring my tits off. And I had to agree. I said, I can't dispute what you said. This is absolutely sending me to sleep. I couldn't enjoy it. I didn't know the songs. There was too much artistic twaddle. Flannel was what it was. And if you loved Peter Gabriel, then I'm sure it was a great gig. But for me, God, there was no excitement. There was no pacing. There was no energy. It was literally someone going through the motions, it felt like. And he had the whole thing where he was in one of those see-through balls and he's sort of rolling around the stage, and I just didn't get it. I was like, yeah, the tickets were wasted on me, sadly, but there we go. But the only other major disappointment I would have to say would have been Aerosmith at Wembley again in 97 on the Nine Lives tour. And I'd wanted to see Aerosmith live for years because they were meant to be like one of the big live bands. And really, I should have seen them in 89 when they were promoting the Pump album. Because that show they did at Hammersmith is like legendary here in the UK. Well, and for Aerosmith fans, that Hammersmith show in 89 is like one of the pinnacles. Anyway, so they came through town. They did 3 nights at Wembley. I saw them on the second night. And the first 2 nights, I think they had Shed 7 supporting them. The following night, the Friday, I was doing a function gig with a disco band, and Shed 7 were on the same gig. And I was sat down, and the singer from Shed 7 came and sat next to me. I said, "Oh, hi, how you doing?" "Yeah, yeah." I said, "I saw you last night." He said, "Were you at Wembley?" I went, "Yeah, yeah." I said, "I saw you with Aerosmith." He said, "What did you think?" I said, "Well, you were great." I said, "But Aerosmith were absolutely rotten." I said, "It seemed like they didn't give a stuff about the audience. There was no background vocals. They were all looking round at each other as they approached the end of each song, as though they didn't know how to end it. And that was every song." I said, "And it seemed like just a bunch of old men just sort of going through the motions." He said, "Well, funny you should say that, because that's what we thought as well. And we've just seen them like on a bunch of nights on this tour. And yeah, it's like they're just not that bothered." I said, "That's exactly it. It's like they're not bothered." And at that time, whatever the prices were, I think it was like about 20 quid, 25 quid. That was kind of like the upper echelons of what you'd pay to see a band at an arena show. And I said, "Yeah." And after that, I never went to see him again. So disappointed. Steven Tyler was like a man running on no fuel. It was like he had no energy, just really wasn't bothered. And I don't even know, and it translated to the audience, because there was like no excitement in the audience. They just weren't fueling the band, but the band weren't giving them anything to shout about. And it's like I say, every song ended like a bad afterthought. It's like no one really knew how to end it. There was no dynamics. The whole show just sort of went along at a sort of mediocre volume, and just rubbish. So I was so disappointed. But there we go. Scott, the loudest band I've seen was The Prodigy. Okay, yeah, I understand that. Prince on the Love Sexy tour, I think, was the loudest I ever saw anyone live. Took about 3.5 weeks for my ears to stop ringing after that Love Sexy show. West Fort, I was looking forward to see Level 42 in England at the O2, but there is no more places available. Okay, I would monitor the various Facebook groups if I were you, and about 2 weeks before the show, watch loads of tickets come up. Happens every time. People book loads of tickets in advance, and then as it gets nearer to the tour or the shows, you'll find people have got spares. So you will get a ticket. You're just going to have to keep your eyes open, and also look at things like Twickets. So if people have got spare tickets, they can sell them again at face value on there. You've also got O2. Is it O2 Priority? You may find some tickets get returned that way. Scott Kurt, next gig I'm going to is Culture Club. Okay, that'll be at the O2, I would wager. I think December. I think that's happening. Scott Kurt, who would be your all-time favorite bass player? Wow, for me it would be John Entwistle, Macker, and I really like James Jamerson. Well, all three of those. But as I've said many a time, my initial sort of venture into bass was a tale of two Johns. So it's John Taylor and John Deacon for me. I can't pick an all-time favorite, and I get asked it all the time, but I've got so many sort of bass heroes and people I look up to. And I mean, you're going to talk Jamerson, Entwistle, Macker, and Jacko as like if you like, the four huge influences for everyone that plays bass, whether you like them or not. They're just there, you know. Then I've got to bring the obvious ones of John Taylor, John Deacon, Mark King, Billy Sheehan, Marcus Miller. And then there's just just loads of bass players. Some I've met, you know, Nathan East, Lee Sklar, bring those guys into the conversation. Glenn Hughes, although I prefer Glenn's voice over his bass playing, if I'm honest. Randy Meisner from the Eagles. I think Timothy B. Schmidt is an amazing bass player, amazing singer as well. I could just pick hundreds of bass players, Scott, really, I could. But when we say all-time favorites, it's like when you're a kid and you're being grounded in being a bass player, you're going to have your major influences, which are the ones that push your buttons that make you want to play bass. And for me, that was John Taylor and John Deacon. And then how can I forget Bernard Edwards? For me, huge influence on my play. Nick Beggs is a fantastic bass player. Absolutely. Love Nick's playing. And now playing with Howard Jones. Yeah, I've seen his socials feed lately. Arctic Monkeys are a fantastic live band, but dull to watch. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that kind of came out of that sort of Brit pop 10 years later and indie stuff during the night. You know, Franz Ferdinand, that just disappeared off the face of the earth. Bands that were sort of tipping their hat to bands of the 80s and 90s, but they didn't have enough, what's the word, content, material to prolong their careers, you know. Oh, you're in New Zealand. Okay, cool. Whereabouts? Where in New Zealand are you, Scott? Just monitoring the email, see if anyone's joining in by video. Not at the moment. Feel free, if you want to come on screen via camera, Scott, you can. Just need to email Brooksy's Bass Corner at Gmail for an invite, and I'll send it through. But yeah, so I mean, I've been very lucky. Seen some amazing gigs in my time. First gig for me was Duran Duran, Wembley Arena. Again, the middle of 3 nights. So I went on the second night, which was Tuesday. Brazil were playing England at Wembley Stadium the same night. So the tube journey there and back was entertaining. Yeah, Duran Duran was my first gig, having not seen them in December 83 because we were based up in Scotland at the time. Came down to London for Christmas, and little did I know that had I had the foresight and the technology, we probably could have secured gigs for Wembley Arena on the Seven Ragged Tiger tour while we were in London. But there we are. So then they didn't tour until 87. So that was my first show. Man, I kind of had a run of really good stuff. So Prince, Love Sexy, had Huey Lewis on the Small World tour at Wembley, had Level 42 on the last night of the Staring at the Sun tour at Wembley. So the Live at Wembley CD with the green cover, I'm there, I'm on that. Then I had like Level 42 at Cardiff Uni, which was the very first warm-up show for the Guarantee tour at Hammersmith. They did 3 nights at universities. They did Cardiff, Leeds, and Norwich, UEA. 3 nights, and then they went into Hammersmith straight after that. So let's think what other notable gigs. Hall and Oates in Bournemouth, that was outstanding, purely for the fact that I'd wanted to see him for years, as did my parents, but also T-Bone Walk wasn't on that tour. He was on tour with Carly Simon, I think. And they had a guy called Kasim Sultan on bass, and he had a Spectre NS2 going through an Ampeg rig, and it was immense. And I remember the next day getting home, ringing up the bass center and saying, "You got any Spectre NS2s in?" They went, "No, haven't had any for a while." There was a place down the road from where I lived on the south coast in Gosport called Top String, and I think they may have been the UK distributor for Spectre for a while. And every time I went to the store, they didn't have any in. So I never got to play one for years and years and years. Then I've followed Roachford round for a couple of years. Freak Power. Always wanted to see Dan Reed Network. So I was there when they reformed in, they reformed in 2012, but I didn't get to see them until 2014. Thunder, great live band. Chris Childs, evening, Chris. If you're watching, you won't be, but I'll say hello anyway. I've just seen so much, really. It kind of sort of racking the brain, thinking, who have you seen? Yeah, I've seen loads. Seen like George Michael, Duran Duran multiple times, Level 42 multiple times. One of the best gigs I've seen in recent years was Young Gun Silver Fox at Nell's in Kensington. Very small, very intimate gig. Amazing, absolutely amazing. And it was the perfect gig to see them at, because it was the first gig they had done since they had an appearance on a show called I Can't Go For That, The Story of Yacht Rock. It was a 2-parter on the BBC in 2019. And they were kind of like the last bit on the second show. And it was the first live show they'd done since that TV thing. And the place was absolutely rammed. and people were there. Obviously, they sort of latched onto the albums because the albums have been out for a couple of years. But suddenly, people like myself were like, "Okay, let's see if they can replicate this live. Let's see." And I was blown away. Huge fan of the band now. Love them. Love them. Sean and Andy, if you're out there. They won't be watching this. They got far better things to do with their time, but outstanding band. So if you ever see Young Gun Silver Fox coming to your neighborhood, go and see them. You will love them. They're great. And they always have a great bass player. It was David Page. He's now on tour with the Pretenders, which ain't a bad gig. They've just done a support tour with Guns N' Roses. So he's gone from playing to like 300 people in Nell's in Kensington to about 100,000 people in stadiums every night. It's not bad, is it? Networking is everything. I said it last week. Scott, you're in New Zealand, yeah. New sub, thank you very much. Great content, mate. I'm in Wakatani, okay, but was from Lincolnshire. Okay, cool. Planet Earth baseline is brilliant. Yeah, big fan of Mr. Taylor here. I will definitely email you another time. I'm up for music talk. Currently, it's 7 a.m. morning. Kids drop off, literally for the from the future. Okay, no worries. Cool. Stacey saw Duran Duran on the Sing Blue Silver tour, March 30th, 84. My ears are still ringing. 40 years later, dear. Yeah, memories are made of that. That's for sure. Just going to grab a drink, boys and girls. So cheers. Hope you're all having a lovely evening or afternoon or morning, wherever you are. Needed that. So how's everyone doing? It's just coming up on 10 to 9. This is live chat 78 on Brooksy's Bass Corner. Coming to you all the way from London town here in the UK. It's good to see you. If you've got any questions about bass guitars, bass amps, effects, accessories, strings, gig bags, leads, great bass players, albums with great bass playing on. You got any problems with your gear? Maybe you're thinking of buying something new. Just want someone to confirm whether something's good or not, or whether it's what you're looking for based on your requirements. Let me know. If I can help, more than happy to do so. If I don't know the answer, I'll open it up to these fine people here on the live chat. And if I don't know the answer, chances are one of them will. There's Stacey and emojis. Excellent stuff. Thank you very much. So if you've got any questions about this live chat or any of the other live chats we've done since we came back about 8-9 weeks ago, feel free. Always happy to resurrect previous live chat topics. So let me tell you what we've gone through over the past couple of weeks. Let's see. So last week we were talking about how to turn your bass playing skills into cash, how to earn a living being a bass player. Week before that, we did a beginner's guide to bass fuzz, distortion, and overdrive. Week before that, we were talking about what is your dream bass and do you own it? What is it? Will you ever be able to afford to buy it? Week before that, we had a discussion about how to learn 43 songs fast for gigging. So what's that sort of talking about? So that was a gig I did back in 2007, where I was contacted by a bass player for a band I'd never spoken to, never met, had no relationship with before. He needed a dep for the Saturday, and he contacted me on the Thursday and said, "I got a gig Saturday, but I can't make it. I can't remember what the reason was. Could you do it?" And I said, "Yeah." I said, A, what's the fee? B, where is it? And what's the material? He said, it's across the board covers, sort of party music. It's a function. It's in Spalding, and this is the fee. And I was like, yeah, I can do it. I said, but we got one problem. I said, A, you're going to have to send me through a live recording. So I need MP3s. We haven't got time for the post. You're going to have to send me stuff across online. And also, at the time, I had a gig on the Thursday. So Dave rang me. I had 2 gigs on the Friday, and then his gig was on the Saturday. And I said, I'm not going to even begin to start being able to learn this until Saturday morning, and your gig's in the evening. I said, but I will promise you that I will learn all of this stuff and that gig will go. So it'll be fine. I said, but I'm going to have to get up at about 6 o'clock in the morning, and I'm leaving here at 2. So I literally woke up at 6 o'clock on that Saturday morning and I learned songs until 1:30. So 7.5 hours, 43 songs, most of which I'd never played, some of which I had played. But these were different arrangements, and a lot of the songs I was aware of, I was au fait with, but I'd never learnt them. I didn't know the notes, or so I was literally learning from scratch, playing blind, and it went off. It happened, and I remember everyone in the band going, "How did you do that?" And it was like, well, you can either do it or you can't. We didn't have iPads. I wasn't really using gig cheat sheets. I think I might have had like 2 pieces A4, and any song that I really didn't know very well, I'd managed to make not detailed notes, but I could write the structure down literally in a line on a piece of A4 in landscape. So there were like 5, maybe 6 songs that I hadn't ever played, and I just made a really understandable song structure, note, chord progression, and it worked. I did the gig, and they used me on quite a few gigs after that when the regular guy wasn't available. So it was good. So it proved to myself that I could do it. But I've never had a roast like that in terms of that amount of songs in such a small limited amount of time. I did 120 song learn for a Rocky Okie band in 2010, but I actually had about a week and a half to prepare for that. So I was doing about 15 songs a day. So that was fine. But again, committing to memory, not really. We didn't have iPads back then. And well, we did by 2010, but I didn't own one. And just committing stuff to memory. So yeah. So anyway, so that was the chat. 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks ago we were doing that, and then the weeks before that, a variety of topics as we got back into the live chat. So it's all good. Let's see. Scott, I've currently got a Hofner Ignition. Very good. I think it was the Beatles pull that appealed to me. Yeah, I get that. Had it 6 months and find it very fluffy sounding and not very versatile. Unfortunately, that's what Hofners are. They have a sound of their own, they have a tone of their own, and playability is what it is. They're not very versatile. If you want that sound, they're the ideal bass to have, but yeah, versatility isn't their strong point. So if that's your only bass, you've either got to stick with it or keep it and buy something else, or if that's not an option, you might have to sell it and buy something else. But yeah, Patrick Sweeney, evening, good to see you. Scott, have you ever played a Rickenbacker? If so, thoughts? Front pickup and gain high for me, the Lemmy trick. Yes. Yes, I've played Rickenbackers, never owned one. I'm not a fan of the hardware and the proprietary nature of that instrument. I find there are too many issues with it, too many problems with it. It does have a very unique sound of its own. I'm a huge Chris Squire fan, so you know I love the tones, but they don't necessarily work for the work that I have to do. As a result, I've never bought one, and I've heard so many things about trying to set them up, problems with the bridge, which isn't the most versatile bridge, and yeah, just issues. And I've heard of people have real horror stories with with various Rickenbackers, but you say that about any instrument, to be fair. But for some reason, Rickenbackers do seem to have recurring issues, which kind of puts me off a little bit. But I love the sound. You know, put a Rickenbacker in Chris Squire's hands, and that's wonderful for me. What a tone! What a tone. Patrick, I had a dep gig on Saturday playing a lot of songs I'd never played or even heard of. A lot of it was Latin based. All went well, though. I expect a man of your caliber, Patrick, to pull off a fine show. Well done. It's good. It keeps you on your toes. You know, if you've not had to do that level of learning for a while, it's good. It's good. Gets the brain going. I'm in the middle of it doing the new Uncle Funk theatre show. We were talking on the group chat today, and Sunday we've got a full show rehearsal, 8 hours worth. So there's going to be some changes and some tweaks here and there. We did a rehearsal, how long ago was that? A month ago. And we did the first 2.5 decades that we're covering. And it was good. It's good that we did that work because we needed it. Because we were going from basically a ground level. There's a couple of songs in there that we've played in Uncle Funk, but not too many because we're trying not to cross-pollinate the shows too heavily. So that it means we've got 2 separate independent shows that can be booked out for the theatres. So there's no point chucking in 10 tons of disco stuff into the new thing if we're already doing that with Uncle Funk's Disco Inferno. So yeah. So cramming. I'm kind of cramming at the moment, but it's just trying to get that amount of material to sit in the brain in a limited amount of time. First show is on 26th of October in Bishop Stortford at South Mill Arts Centre. So we've got time. There's no rush. We've been running through this independently of each other for a while, but I know when we did the rehearsal a month ago, we were already starting to tweak things and change bits, and we need to swap that bit round and take that sort of chorus is too long. We need to cut it in half, and we're starting to sort of do all that. But there'll be a lot of that this weekend, so it'll probably be, I would imagine someone might film it and then go through it the day after and say, right, these are now the fixed arrangements of what we're going to do. It's all good. It'll be fine. We've got weeks to go yet. I think we've got what's that, 4, 5, about 6, 7 weeks. I think we got until we. In fact, let's be accurate here. Let's call up the Google Diary. So here we are on the 3rd. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.5 weeks. We've got. It'll be fine. No issues. So we're just coming up on 9 o'clock here on Brooksy's Bass Corner, live chat 78 here on the YouTube channel, all the way from London town here in the UK. Doing live chats every Tuesday night up until 17th of December. We'll take a very short break for Christmas, and then we'll be back in the new year. But yeah, so if you've got any questions about bass guitars, bass amps, bass effects, strings, gig bags, accessories, cleaning, maintenance, all of that sort of stuff. Cheers, Scott. Take care. Have a good day. Have a good week. We'll see you next week, perhaps. Feel free to check out the channel. There's just under 500 videos here on the channel, so feel free to get ensconced in it. Good to see you. Welcome aboard. Have a good week. All good. And drop those kids off at the school. So let's get this Viv Wilcock bass out. Gareth Harrison, good to see you all the way from Manchester. Excellent. United or City? Pick your choice. Pick your answer carefully. Right, let's get this Viv Wilcock bass out. I'm just looking for the spec sheet first. Got me a little spec sheet here. So here we go. It's the Wilcock H22. So 30-inch short scale bass. It's got a single Curtis Novak H22 pickup. So you can split the coils using the push-pull on the tone control. It's got a master volume, master tone with push-pull tone cut facility, which switches out the capacitor, sending the pickup direct to the jack. Okay. Silkwood, London plain with a wax oiled neck. Rocklight fingerboard, which is kind of a composite, sort of made up of different timber layers. He actually showed me some of it last week when I was picking up the bass. 20 medium jumbo frets, chambered, which brings the weight down. Tortoiseshell top bound, flamed timber, basswood body, single piece flame walnut top, gold hardware, tobacco burst poly finish. So let's get this on a strap. So I've been noodling about with it for a few days. What do I do with that strap? Here we go. Betsy's here, of course, goes without saying. Evening to everyone at the base centre if they're tuning in. I'm sure they won't be, but you never know. Right. That's the fella. Here we go. So for those who've tuned in, didn't see it at the start, this is it. The Viv Wilcock guitars here in London. There you can see yourselves. See, that's the monitor. So it's the H22 short scale bass, tortoiseshell binding. You can see around the edge of the body. Gold hardware, Novak pickup, push pull. It's all good. Right, let's get the where have I put my tuner? The headstock tuner. Bear with me a moment. Got so many things here on my desk. Is it there? Let's take it off. Where have I put it? Oh, I'll go with Betsy. She's in tune. Good. Got flat wounds on. If you've not had an opportunity to try one of Viv's basses, they're quite exceptional. Short scale bass, suddenly you can fly around at a rapid rate of knots. Don't be put off if you've got big hands, big fingers. They're lovely to play. We were trying it out in the bass gallery last week, and some of the tones are excellent. And actually, when you play higher up, it's almost like there's a compressor built into it naturally. That's just so you're not getting this huge transient sound. You're getting this really smooth, like cultured bass tone. Quite lovely. And the flats help you to slide around as well. You can't see because if I stand back a bit, you might be able to. Let me get rid of that banner. There we go. You see more now. It's a cracker. Friend of mine, Mr. Jimmy Sims, who's the bass player for George Ezra, used to work at the bass center many years ago, and he's using these as well as a few other basses, but these are his main squeeze on that gig now, and I can see totally why he goes for it, because it's just such a comfortable. Well, they are extremely comfortable basses to wear, and the fact this is a chambered body, it's like doesn't weigh very much, and it's a lovely playing experience. It's not a big stretch. It's not an alembic kind of thing. Although that would be like comparing chalk with cheese. Of course, it's two totally different style basses. Let's see. Stacey saying hello to Gareth. Gareth doesn't support either City or United. Fair enough. I've just bought a Squire debut P bass from Amazon for £110 for the sole purpose of letting others use at open mics. I sometimes cover, so they aren't using my more expensive bass. Very good. I can understand that way of thinking. What sort of... Oh, it's a debut P bass. Let's have a look, see what they look like. I have multiple experiences with Squire basses, some good, some not so good. Oh, okay. Yeah. It is what it is, really, isn't it? That's it. Fender Squire debut series precision bass guitar. It is what it is. Yeah. Okay. I'll check out some of the videos later. Have a listen to how it sounds. But you're quite happy with it, I guess. It's not your main bass, is it? You've bought it for a reason, so that's cool. It's me. Okay. I can see we've got a sizable number of people watching, which is fabulous. Thank you very much, gang. Yeah, excellent. Thank you for tuning in. Very much appreciated, as always, of course. But anyway, this bass is quite fab. So it's going to be a demo and a review, and there'll be some shorts coming up very shortly. Actually, probably, I would imagine, start of next week, these will be up. We're talking here 12, 13, 14, 17, 18, 19, 20 frets. So it's a very comfortable bass to play. Badass 2. Now I can plug this into the amp, or I could do it through the sound card, but the problem we found is that no matter which I plug into, we get this weird... Well, I'll tell you what, let's make this a bit of an experiment, shall we? I'm going to plug into the audio card. So we're running on the fixed Ethernet line here. Let's see if we've finally ironed out those gremlins that we had. So for a number of weeks at the start of this season of live chats, we were running on Wi-Fi from my laptop. So the connection would be the same. But we found it was doing this weird thing where you'd only get like part of the bass sound. It would sort of go in and out, and it wasn't great. So now we're on a fixed line. Let's see if this is any better. You guys be the judge. Stacey, I expect your full compliance with this. So I'm going to plug the bass in. Get my headphones on. So select that. That's the instrument. Right, put my headphones on. See if we can hear it first. That's the first job. I can hear bass. Okay. Now, can you guys hear that? And is it dropping in and out, or is it? There's a bit of string rattle going on. The action's quite low. It's a little choppy. I thought so. So basically, there's no way around it. So it doesn't matter whether I plug straight into an amplifier and you get that sound, or we go direct into the interface and you get that sound. It's always going to be this way. Dawson, good to see you. Hope you're well. Hope everything's good where you are in Canada. Have you started that radio show yet? flats just don't give you that volume that you get from rounds. It's a lovely bass to play, I have to say. Dawson, no radio show yet, just independent and guest appearances. Excellent. Yeah, very nice, very easy to play. I'll unplug if it's not sounding so hot. Does it feel anything like the Ibanez Talman? Yes, exactly. Exactly that. Although the Ibanez you've got and I've got, Stace, the Talmans we've got are 34-inch scale. There is a 30-inch scale, which would be a short scale version, but this is, and actually the Talman has a degree of body shape similarity. This is kind of based around the Shergolds, marathon bases. Which also has an element of wow. So the original wowls were based on those bases in terms of body shape. So there's this family tree of lineage when it comes to the body shape. It's very nice. So, looking forward to letting you guys hear it. That's fine. I'll take the old bass out. But yeah, a very enjoyable bass. So looking forward to doing those videos and getting those up very shortly for you all to have a listen and enjoy it. Now, this bass isn't cheap. They're around £2,600. It's handmade. Viv does it all himself, I think. But you're getting a certain level of detail and finesse and build quality that you're not going to get off a production line. So if you're in the market for a hand-built, short scale, very nice bass, these are worth checking out. It's based in Hackney here in London. There's always a couple of his basses at the gallery in Camden. There's one up there. Well, there were two up there last week. There's a blue one, which is just a regular demo Malarkey model. And there was like a hot pink one as well. It was slightly different. So yeah, if you're in the smoke and you got time to go to the gallery and check out what they've got, make sure you check out the Viv Wilcock basses. I can highly recommend them. It's nice and clean. You may need to acquire that. Stacey, it's £2,600, my dear. Does it feel anything yet? Done that bit. George Iliadis, good to see you. Welcome. You'll put it on your wish list. Yeah, I thought you might. You can hear the details. Yeah. And now I get back to Betsy with some steel round wounds on. I'm far more at home. James Howard, good to see you. Just got in from work. What have I missed? You've missed an hour and 14 minutes, sir. So you can always watch that on catch up. So you can either watch this from scratch and go back in and go from scratch, or just wait until we're finished later and watch the first hour and a quarter. We have Betsy in the house doing the thing. There we go. Betsy, Betsy, Betsy. Yeah, and all of that. So yeah, so here we are. It's 9:15, live chat 78 here on Brooksy's Base Corner. Topic of chat tonight is, let me go back into my banners. Who was the best band or artist you've ever seen live? Were you in the queue on Saturday, electronically speaking, for Oasis tickets? Did you get some? How much did you pay for it? Who's the best band or artist you've ever seen? Who do you regret not seeing? Who did you have a chance to see and didn't take it, or got offered tickets for and couldn't be bothered, and then regretted it ever since? Who did you go and see and walked out on early? Let's hear all those gig stories. Let me know. Let me know. Big welcome to new subscribers, new people joining the channel. We've had a big influx of new people over the past couple of weeks, past month. Viewing figures are up. Involvement is up. Subscribers are up. It's all good. Thank you very much for getting involved, joining in. Stacey, I absolutely regret not being able to see Hall & Oates. They cancelled the gig because of COVID. To be honest, Stacey, I think you probably... I'm not saying you missed out, but I think their best days were behind them even at that point. I last saw Hall & Oates in 2014, and I kind of knew while I was watching them, I'm probably not going to pay to go and see them again. And I kind of got bored of every time I went to see them, as much as I love them, love the band, love the material, I got bored of watching Daryl Hall be an angry old man. Every time I've ever seen Hall & Oates, he's there shouting and screaming at the monitor man or a roadie. And it's just like, I know you're a huge superstar and you know you're a huge superstar, but you're a rude. Yeah. And literally every gig I've ever been to, he's been screaming and shouting at the monitor man at the side of the stage. And it's like, did you not get it right at sound check? And if you didn't, and the fact that every time I've seen you, you've done the same thing, that would tend to imply to me you don't know how to talk to people, to tell them what you want in your monitor when you're doing sound check, or something's going on with your ears between sound check and then time of the gig. I mean, you learn those things early on in your career. If something's not right, after about 10 nights of it not being right, would you not have sorted it? And I'd seen him do this every single gig that I've ever seen Hall & Oates, and I've saw them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, about 7 or 8 times. It was always the same thing, same issue. You had fab seats. I'm sorry. Gareth Harrison. The best I've seen are either Paul Heaton, supported by Billy Bragg, or Madness. Madness are always a good night out. We did a gig with them. Uncle Funk did a gig supporting them at Stand and Calling 2 years ago, and they were on after we finished, so I didn't really get to see any of their set, and apart from like the last quarter, because we were packing up, getting changed, all of that thing. But yeah, Paul Heaton, not really my bag, but Madness would be a good night out. Stacey, oh no, how sad when someone's a jerk that does color things. Yeah. George Iliadis, Prince was outstanding. Saw him twice. Same here, George. I saw him in 88 on the Lovesexy, as I said this earlier in the live chat. Saw him at Wembley Arena on the Lovesexy tour in 1988. And I saw him at Wembley again 2 years later on what was called the Nude tour. So it was like a week after Graffiti Bridge had come out, and he was playing at Wembley Arena in the summer at the same time as the Rolling Stones were at Wembley Stadium. So halcyon days, you know, really. Those were the days. Little did we know it at the time. When you could see Prince for £11.50. Crazy. When you look back and you think how much that stuff was worth. And we all thought it was expensive then. It really wasn't. Prince is such an underrated bassist. Underrated everything, Gareth. Glad I saw him at his peak. You know, glad I got on the Prince train when I did. I had the opportunity to get on it a lot earlier through my cousins, and I couldn't see what the appeal was. I just like, I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't understand why you guys are going overboard. And then three years after Purple Rain, I got it. Signed the Times album. I got it. I totally understood it. And also that tying in with me getting into funk and becoming a bass player, really being a big James Brown fan. I was like, right, now I get it. Okay. Now the dots, you're joining up the dots and it's starting to make sense. So has anyone been buying anything lately? Anyone on the purchase trail? I know it's summer, lots of people are on holiday. Anyone picked up any bargains lately? Found a bass you were looking for and suddenly appeared? Anything you've just bought that you can highly recommend? Let us know. I've got a joy of a gig next Monday with Uncle Funks. We're playing in Peckham, which is kind of southeast London, opposite side of town to where I am. So it's going to be a journey from hell. When you actually do a mile sort of map, it's not that far. It's about 20 miles door to door, but it could take upwards of 2.5 hours to get there. Was contemplating doing the train and tube thing, but where I am in sort of northwest London, the tubes I need to use, both of them, their car parks are useless until about 1-2 o'clock in the afternoon, and I've got to be at sound check for 11:30. 11:30 and done by 12. So yeah, it's an early start on Monday and a trek across town, and be done by 5 apparently. So yeah, funny old gig. I'm only doing an hour, so we will see. I'll report back next Tuesday, but I can't say getting over to Peckham is particularly something I'm looking forward to. Gareth recently bought a Mark Bass 210 and it's great. Which model? Not that I'll know, because Mark Bass has so many variations on their cabinets and amplifiers. I'll have to look it up. I'll Google it as soon as you tell me. Regretted never seeing Duran Duran. Well, I thought they were down your way not that long ago. George, did they not come to you for Future Past? Maybe not. Well, I saw them last year at the O2, and they were fabulous. They were very good, seriously on their game. Simon's voice was in good shape. Rest of the band were good. Sound was fab. Production was fabulous. And I hadn't seen them since the O2 for Paper Gods. And I actually much preferred the show I saw last year to the one I saw with Paper Gods. Too much of the Paper Gods material was a bit bloated for my liking. It kind of lost, and it was very keyboard heavy. Not a lot of bass and guitar work going on in that stuff. But yeah, the tour I saw last year, great pick of songs as well. Good set list. Things I had never heard. Last Chance on the Stairway. Friends of Mine was in there. Careless Memories was in there. Night Boat. All good stuff. I had a great time. You bought the 102p Traveller 4-ohm. Well, good that you got a 4-ohm cab. That's a good start. Right, let's have a look. 102p Traveller. Oh, okay. It doesn't look. Has it got a tweeter in there? Or is it tweeter free? I think there's one in the top there, isn't there? 400 watt cab. It's not bad. Tweeter, yes, piezo. Good. Okay, cool. Frequency response 45 to 18 kilohertz. Cool. And 33 pounds 15 kilograms in weight. Nice. Cool. Very cool. Says here the impedance is 8 ohms, but I'm guessing you got the 4-ohm model, did you? Inputs, XLR jack combined. Cool. Yeah, looks good. Have you used it yet? Gareth, have you used it yet? Stacy, I thought spending $25 for a Duran Duran Japanese import magazine was a bit steep back in '83. Babysitting money, man. It's probably worth a bit more than $25 now, though, Stace. I would wager. Just checking the email, see if anyone's coming in on video. If you want to join in the live chat by video, you can. All you got to do is send an email to brooksysbasecorner@gmail.com. I'll send you an invite. You click on the invite, you come through on video. Simple as that. It works as simply as that. I'm forgetting it. So I'm in a bit of a Jamiroquai phase at the moment, going through songs that I've always loved but never worked out. And now I'm going back and learning them. It's like, oh yeah, I'll just cool the fingers down. Patrick Sweeney, I've mentioned them before, but Bareface Cab's definitely worth a try. I need to get hold of them and get some here for review. Thing is, I haven't really done any amplification reviews since I left the mag, apart from the Trace Elliott combo, purely for the case. And I get people asking, why haven't you done any amp reviews? Why haven't you done any cabinet reviews? My issue with doing that sort of stuff, basses and pedals are different, but for cabs, like if it's an amp, it's fine. I can DI it and away we go. But if we're going to talk cabinets and how cabinets respond, what you see on the screen is going to be compressed twice between me recording it and you seeing it and hearing it. And the worry is what I'm hearing in the room when I'm demoing is not what you're going to hear on the video. And it's a concern of mine. Now, if people are happy to hear the sound after it's been compressed twice, then that's fine. But there will always be a job's worth out there that goes, well, that's not how it would sound if I was sat next to it. Well, I can't do anything about it, unfortunately. You get one level of compression when the video renders in your video editing software, and then you get another layer of compression when you upload to YouTube. So the sound you're going to get is already after 2 levels of compression. And it just concerns me that you're not getting an exact and fair representation of what a cabinet can do. I might have to start doing some and just put disclaimers on the screen and say, look, you know, just accept that there's 2 levels of compression here. So if you think it doesn't sound that good, get to a shop and listen to it if you can before you put your money down on it. Gareth used it for the first time this weekend with my Mark bass, little Mark III head. And we need to know, Stacey, they've got 7 gigs over here at the moment. Duran, yeah. Gareth, John Taylor was apparently gifted Bernard Edwards' Stingray. He was. I've heard it on a number of shows that I've attended, and he had it and he used it on the night I saw them at Wembley Arena in 2004. And it's all over Astronaut as well. Taste the Summer is that Stingray. Patrick Sweeney, I'll be using my Betsy this Thursday at our jam night. You know, a good thing when you see it, Patrick. They're just great. It's great for the price. 650 quid for this. So £650 if you're in the UK. I think it's about 580. It means you don't pay the VAT if you're ordering one from around the world, but then you've got import costs at your end. But anyway, it's just an amazing jazz variant. EMGs, ebony fingerboard, active pickups, but not an active circuit. Really playable. Just, I love it. I love it. I loved it when I picked it up and played it for the first time, and I use it quite a bit. I don't use it with Uncle Funk because I tend to use my GBs for that and the Warwick Bootsy bass. But this, you know, I can take this out on any gig. If I had to use it for Uncle Funk, I could. It would be fine. Who doesn't like a jazz when they're playing disco stuff? Oh. Yeah. Let me see. Need to do that, don't we? Big thank you to all new subscribers. Thank you very much. Thanks for getting on board. Thanks for watching the videos, giving them a like, giving them a thumbs up, commenting, sharing them. Very much appreciated, of course. Goes without saying. I shouldn't even have to say it, but I do. So you know. So just checking the email. No one looking to come in on the live chat at the moment by video. You can. If you want to come and have a chat with me, you can. If we get a bunch of us, we can all chat on screen. We did. We had 6 of us on screen a few weeks ago, all talking bass. 1,000,001 bass conversations. So here we go. Let's put her back on the stand. It's a shame that I can't get basses to play through that sound card and you can actually hear them nicely. I don't get it. I don't get it. I'm guessing it's the transient nature of the sound. It's too much to convey over on a live chat. It's taking too much bandwidth. Blame Lewis, good to see you. Level 42 with Alan Murphy was the best live band I saw. Yeah, I have to say, I saw the last night at Wembley in '89 with Alan, and I remember just being blown away by his guitar sound. I'd seen him obviously working since '84 odd on various TV things and Go West and all the sessions he'd done. I was a kid, I didn't really know, but I loved his work with Level 42. I just wonder what Guaranteed would have been as an album had he been involved in the writing of it. You know, would have been great. Up there with the Police and Thin Lizzy. Yeah, yeah, I agree. Yeah, halcyon days, my friend. Halcyon days. Gareth Harrison loved it. It sounded great and a lot. We're talking about his Mark bass cab and his amp. Sounded great, a lot easier to cart around compared to a 4x10. You can always, and I see or have over the years seen so many people love a 4x10 but hate having to carry it. If you get an amp that's 4 ohms or 8 ohms, but 4 ohms, and buy two 2x10 cabinets, and you've got a 4x10. If one cabinet went down, you've still got the other one going. And if you don't need the oomph of both of them running at the same time, you can just run one anyway. I've known a few bass players do that, and they'll own like 6 or 8 2x10 cabinets, so in case one goes down, they've got others spare. But if you don't need more than a 4x10, then carrying two separate 210 cabs is a really health conscious way of carting your gear about. It's not a bad idea. And for quite a while, before I moved over to Aguilar stuff and I was using all my EBS stuff, I'd have a 2x12 Neo, which was a great cab. 2x12 EBS Neo is just outstanding. And I'd pair it with a Neo 210. The Neo's in the garage, but the 212 is underneath the Super Redhead. Amazing combination. Super light, punchy, loads of clarity, power. The 212 giving it the extra sort of bass roundness that you don't always get with 10s, but the 210 giving it like the crispness and the instant sort of punch. Loved it. Loved that rig. Gareth, I own 2 TC-BC 208s. Okay, that I do that with sometimes. Okay, cool. Yeah, as you probably know, I have like a wall of amplification here. I don't want to show you too much of my room because it's a mess, but so yeah, it's like a bit of a wall of amplification and guitar cases and stuff. And then there's more in the garage. So here we go. I can't show you too much of the room. It's a bit embarrassing at the moment. So I've been filming, so stuff keeps getting moved from side to side so that for camera angles and what have you. I can't give the game away that my office is a mess, but there we are. Constantly being tidied and shifting stuff around. So yeah. So it's coming up for 20 to 10 here on live chat 78 here on Brooksy's Bass Corner, coming to you all the way from London town here in the UK. It's good to see you. Welcome aboard. If you've got any questions about bass gear, bass amps, bass players, anything to do with bass, this is the place to get it out of your system. You got some problems with gear, or you're looking to buy something, or you just got a question about basses, put it in the comments box, press send. I'll respond to it as soon as I see it. Next to the comments box, you will see an emoji icon. Feel free to give that an absolute leathering. The YouTube algorithm loves it if you add emojis to your messages. And next to that, you'll see the super chat facility, which is the rectangle with the dollar symbol in. That allows you to make a contribution to Brooksy's Bass Corner if you wish to do so. You don't have to. I've done that speech already today at the start of the live chat, where we had someone moaning that they thought I was begging for money. The videos are all free to watch. You can watch everything you want on this channel, and it's free for you to do it. However, if you would like to support the channel, help it keep going for as long as possible, helps to pay for all the things that keep the channel going, you can do so using the super chat facility, which is next to the emoji icon at the bottom of the comments window. You literally just press the button, type in how much you want to donate, and that's the way it works. But you don't have to. Everything on here is free. Then underneath the video window, if you're on the mobile app, the chat window is directly below. If you're on the desktop version, it's that way. Underneath that, you'll see the thumbs up and the thumbs down. Please give the video a thumbs up. It really helps to project the video within the algorithm, helps the channel. It gets the video pushed out to more people. And if more people watch, then it builds momentum and it's all good for the channel. If you're going to give the video a thumbs down, then please leave a comment. Tell me why you didn't like it or what you don't like about the channel. Is it the way I present it? Maybe you don't like me. Maybe you don't like the topic of conversation. But if you don't leave a message and tell me what you don't like, I can't make it any better. That's the problem. Next to the thumbs up and thumbs down, you see a share button, so you can share the video out to social media, email, websites. There's a save button, so you can watch the video at a later date. Then there's also super thanks, which is the love heart with a dollar symbol, exactly the same as super chat, except every video here on Brooksy's Base Corner has a super thanks option because we're a monetized channel. Underneath those icons, you will have the description box. You'll see a description of the video. You'll see timestamps. So if you want to jump between sections of this video, you'll see them on the timeline. You'll see little breaks in the red line. The timestamps will be up there from about midday tomorrow when the video gets uploaded to YouTube. It just makes sort of navigating your way through the video. If you've only got half an hour and you just want to see the bits that interest you, go into the description box, look at the timestamps, and you'll see what we're talking about. I'll make sure those are there tomorrow. Dawson, you're off to a networking event. Always remember, don't look back in anger. I saw what you did there. Gareth Harrison, also have a Trace Elliott elf that comes to every gig with me in case my main amp goes down. My Trace is in my gig bag. It's always there. I agree. Great amp to have as backup if you need it. So we've done, right, we're in the description box. We've done timestamps. Underneath the timestamps, you will see affiliate links for Brooksy's Base Corner merch. So we've got the long sleeve baseball shirt on tonight. We've got the baseball cap. There's about 150 items, 15 different designs. If you want to help the channel and you want something for your money, then please feel free to look at the merch. It really helps the channel out. So we've got the merch links. We've got affiliate sales links for the Bass Center here in the UK. So if you're thinking of buying a Betsy or one of the new Snakebite Neil Murray basses, maybe, or some Elite strings, or you're looking for some of the 40th anniversary merch that I showed off last week. Got the cap here, t-shirts up in the wash. 40th anniversary of the Bass Center, legendary bass retailer here in the UK. You'll find links for the Bass Center in description box, along with affiliate links for Top Cashback, vidIQ, and StreamYard. You'll then find affiliate sales links for bass retailers, Amazon, Worldwide, Thomann, Gear for Music, and Andertons. And then underneath all of that little lot, you've got the social media links, and you'll find us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter X, Be Real, Reddit, Quora, Discord, and TikTok. There we go. Kevin, hi Mike, would not watch Oasis if they played in my backyard. Okay. No grey areas there then. Best artist I've seen is Bob Dylan. Right. Where did you see him and when? Got to spill the beans there, Kev. We need more detail there. See, Bob Dylan, I'm not sure I could sit through a Bob Dylan concert, but each to their own. We all have different tastes, of course. Let me know where and when. Yeah. I think we're up to date. Mum's there. You're late. Good evening, everybody. Don't like to see they are using Hall and Oates tracks for adverts on TV. Mum, they're doing it for the income. They have to sign documents to allow their companies to do it. They can't do it without their approval. So whether you like it or not, you'll have to take that up with Daryl Hall and John Oates, I'm afraid. Gareth Harrison, bit controversial, but other people play Dylan songs better than Dylan himself. You might be right. You might be right. There's a lot of artists who think he is fabulous, and that's fine. I have no problem, and they do a better job of it than him. But you're either Kev, you saw him in Hammersmith Odeon and Earl's Court over 20 years ago. See, when I think 20 years ago, I think it's the 70s, but the 70s was like nearly 50 years ago. And I always find that a little disconcerting. It does mean I'm getting old. 20 years ago would have been 2004. Crikey. I've got a bass stand here to my right that I bought in 2004 at the Guitar and Bass Show up at Wembley Conference Centre. Yeah, that makes me feel old. Goodness me. Well, it's wearing well. Unlike me, the stand's doing great. Yeah, you see, Bob Dylan, he's an acquired taste. He's legendary, but I think he's legendary because when he kind of made a name for himself, there weren't people doing that. You know, he kind of led that trail of that sort of performance, that sort of material, that sort of singing style, you know, crossover of folk and rock. And well, it's not pop, is it? It's, I don't know, angry young man. Well, he was an angry young man then. But you see, I can't watch Bob Dylan without thinking about that bit in the you know, We Are the World, you know, USA for Africa, on that documentary on Netflix, where it gets to his bit and he's just completely out of his comfort area. He can't sing, he can't really talk, he can't really communicate to people, and he's just sort of loitering with intent, really. Yeah, I mean, he was surrounded by great singers and people that were on it, and he clearly wasn't. Mum, keyboard shocking with this eyesight. Sorry, it's all right. You don't have to post anything, Mum. Just enjoy the live chat. It's not a problem. Not a problem. So yeah, we're talking about who is or who was the best band or artist you've ever seen live. And what got me onto this was, you know, last week Oasis announced shows, their comeback. Saturday, there was complete carnage on the ticket buying forums and pages and sites. People being overcharged, or they think they're being overcharged. Dynamic pricing being used, where the price of a ticket goes up the more people are trying to buy them. So I just wanted to know who got tickets, who was after tickets, how much did you pay? And then I thought, well, we can expand that. So, you know, who are people's best artists, best bands they've ever seen? Who did you see that bored you to tears? Who have you seen that you went home early because it was so boring? Who do you wish you had seen that you never got to see? Gareth, my first ever gig was Motorhead at Manchester Apollo. My ears were ringing for a few days afterwards, a few years after, I would imagine. Yeah, they could play loud, those boys. I don't know how Lemmy did it. I really don't. How he managed to keep himself going for as long as he did, doing what he did. But yeah, not 9 years yet. Christmas will be 9 years since he's passed away. Goodness me, where's the last decade gone? Just flown by. Kev, Like a Rolling Stone, one of the best tracks ever by Bob. I hear you. I hear you. But again, I think Bob Dylan was of his time. I think if he had come along a little later than he did, he probably wouldn't have been as seminal. Yes, I did mean to say that. As he is, as revered as he is. But you know, his output at the start of his career was well, it's become legendary. That's what it is. Just unfortunately, musical movements change, and what's in changes, and what people want changes, and he was kind of stuck in that one thing. Had the Traveling Wilburys not come along, I suspect he might well have hung his guitar up, you know. I can't actually recall if he's had like a big album in the last 35 years. Maybe he has, and I wasn't aware of it. I don't know. George Iliadis, right? Saw Kiss with makeup and then without. I bet they look better with. Well past it. Both shows in the 90s. Yeah, I've got a few friends who are big Kiss fans. I get one of these bands. I've just never been able to get into them. Maybe if I spent a bit more time digging around their material, maybe I would. But I think I'm kind of at the age now where I know what I like, and for some reason, Kiss just never appealed to me. Yet in theory, they should. Big shows, bombastic, and great lights and production and over the topness. And I've never really got into them. And I'm not sure I've got the time to do it. Occasionally, I'll find an artist that I wasn't really that into, and I'll go back, listen to the back catalogue, and go, "Oh, actually, they're very, really good." But I'm just not sure if I got that time with Kiss. Yeah, I've probably missed that boat. That's just me. Don't listen to me. So I hope if you've any of you have been away on holiday, you've now come back because the kids are going back to school. Hope everything's going okay. It's that post-summer blues period. So, Kev, worst band I ever saw was the Sex Pistols. Couldn't play for toffee. That's always been the case. Okay, well, one of those bands who were very much of the moment, but when the moment passed, again, legendary band for what? Like a handful of singles and 2 albums. It's in fact, is there even 2? I don't know actually. Let's have a look. I think they had 2 albums in their classic period. Yeah. Never mind the Bullhooks and Great Rock and Roll Swindle. Oh, there was something. What the hell is that? I'm not even going to read that out. What is that? Oh, it's a bootleg album. Right. Oh, yeah, I won't be reading the title of that out. That was released in 77. You can all do your own Google searches. Do Sex Pistols album discography. There was a bootleg album released in 1977. I'm certainly not going to mention it here. There we are. No, definitely not. Yeah, he says with a laugh on his face. Now, if you'd like to join me here for the video chat, feel free. You can come in here instead of on the text chat. If you want to join by video chat, drop me an email, brooksyspacecorner@gmail.com. I'll send you an invite. You click on that invite link and it'll bring you straight through, and you can talk to me by video, or we can have a multiple person chat if enough people want to get involved. So it's not prerequisite. We don't have to, but the option's there. That's the joy of using the StreamYard platform. It allows us to do video chat. So it's all good. It's all good. I'm presuming you can see and hear everything okay. We're on a fixed line, fixed Ethernet line. I've sorted the camera, sorted the microphone. I'm hoping everything's all good. Let me just check the hardware hasn't decided to throw a bit of a Benny. No, we look all good. Excellent. I assume it's all looking and sounding okay for you guys. Gareth Harrison, I did see James Brown 2006, a few weeks before he passed. The band were great, but it felt like he was struggling a little. Yeah, he did a show in London that was shown in 2004. I don't think it was at Union Chapel. It was Islington Hall, maybe. And yeah, I remember. And actually, it was on TV not that long ago, and I sort of stumbled across it. You could tell he was getting old. He was, I mean, he could belt a song out, but he wasn't doing 2 hours of performance. It was him going on and off and playing a bit of keyboard and getting changed, and he'd let the female singers sort of take hold of the gig. But man was a force of nature, went carried on right up to the end. He wasn't averse to a bit of hard work, was James Brown, that's for sure. I'm a big fan of James Brown. And actually, if you go into something like Spotify, you can see how much material he actually put out, how many albums he did. It's quite a collection. At one point, I thought, oh, shit, I need to buy all this stuff. And in the end, it was like, I'm probably glad I didn't, because it's there on Spotify. And trying to track down the really great stuff can prove a little tricky. But yeah. But, we do get up off of that thing in Uncle Funk now, and it's good fun. It's good fun. Can't beat a bit of James Brown in your set. It's all good. It's all good. So how are we doing? How are we doing? It is coming up 5 to 10 here in London town. Brooksy's Bass Corner live chat 78, the best bass live chat on YouTube. I can't find any others, not that are regular anyway. Some of the bass channels do the occasional sort of one every few months, but I can't find any regular ones. I have been looking, trying to see if anyone else is doing it, and I can't find any. They might be out there. I just can't find them. I keep clicking on the live tab when I go into YouTube, and there's lots of sports stuff, but not a lot of musician-based live chats, sadly. Thought I might try and contribute to some other people's ones, but there aren't any to contribute to. Not that I can find. If anyone knows of any, please let me know. If you know of any other bass-related channels that do regular live chats, that'd be great. Might invite them over here at some point. How we doing? Let's see if anyone's... No one's there. So what everyone got coming up this week? Anyone got gigs? We're now kind of coming out of festival season. I know there's a few sort of festivals still sort of hanging on that have their performances in September, but anyone out this weekend? Where you play? What are you up to? I've got no gigs until Monday, so which actually works in my favor, because we've got the 8-hour Uncle Funk rehearsal on Sunday, so I could do a Saturday for last minute topping and tailing of about 34 songs. So Stacey, please tell me there's a jazz ensemble somewhere called the Sax Pistols. I'm highly likely that that's the case. Let's have a look. Yeah, there is. Yeah, there is. They're on Facebook. The Sax Pistols, 5-piece instrumental rock jazz funk band from Dumfries and Galloway in Scotland. I'm sure there's numerous instances of bands called the Sax Pistols, but yeah, they exist. They are out there. Gareth Harrison, Dave's World of Fun Stuff, does a regular live chat. He's a bassist. Yeah, I'm well versed in Dave's stuff. He does. He tends to do Friday nights, which quite often I'm out working on. So, but the channel is mainly focused around guitar tech and repairs. I learned a lot of the stuff I do in my workbench videos from watching Dave's World of Fun Stuff. I'm a big advocate for what he does. I know he's been unwell lately, so get well soon, Dave. He's just started doing some new videos, but he keeps getting his Facebook pages, group pages hacked, and he's now announced that he's not going back on Facebook at all. Can't be bothered with it. It's too much grief, too much hassle. And I totally get it, totally understand it. I kind of feel the same myself. If I didn't need Facebook for if I didn't need Facebook for work purposes, I'd probably ditch it. But I need it for gigs and B, in order to have the Brooksy's Bass Corner page, I need to have my regular personal account. Otherwise, I would have ditched Facebook long ago, because it has just become painful to maintain, and people are there just for an argument, and I can't be bothered with that. And the fact that I've been hacked twice in the space of about 6 months, twice this year, and I change my password every month. So if it carries on happening, it'll be jettisoning that. And the weird thing is, I get hacked on Facebook, but I don't get hacked on Instagram. So I don't know. I just don't know. Don't know how to solve it. Stacey, that's great. Yeah, the Sax Pistols coming to a town near you. If you're in Scotland, I would wager. So here we are. We've been here 2 hours. Hope everyone is fine and well. Hope your bass playing is going great. If I can help in any way, if you're looking at some new gear or you got some problematic issues with your equipment, that's not a euphemism, by the way. That is actually if your bass or your amp or your pedal is giving you some grief. If I can help, more than happy to do so. That's what we're here for. If I don't know the answers, or if I can't help you, one of the fine people here may well be able to do so. So let us know. We're all about sharing the advice. Danny Sapko, very funny. Yeah, he's great. I'm a big fan of Danny's. I like his attitude. I like his videos. He makes me chuckle. And he's doing very well on YouTube, I might add. Yeah, probably one of the big exploding bass channels on YouTube this year. Well done, sir. Well done. He is very funny. If you've not checked him out, please do so. He's you might not like the accent, but he's genuinely funny and a nice guy by all accounts. I've not had any conversations with him or any comments or online messaging, but you know, he's great. He's great. More, sir. More of that. Keep doing it. Gareth Harrison, best tribute name I've come across is a Limp Bizkit tribute called Limp Wristed. Oh dear. Yeah. See, that's the side of tributes I've never really got, because I'm sure bands like that struggle to find places to play, and they must struggle to maintain, to keep going, because I just don't know where places like that play. And I had a conversation with one of the guys who does Freddie in the Queen tributes that I play with, and I hadn't seen him for a while. Actually, he's off doing other things, but he was talking about doing a Cat Stevens tribute, and we had quite an involved conversation. And he was adamant he could make it work and earn lots of money. And I said, "Well, where are you going to play?" I said, "Unless someone wants a Cat Stevens tribute, where are you going to play? You might get some festival work, you might, but you know, no one's going to hire a Cat Stevens tribute for a wedding or a private function. It's not party material, really." And I said, tribute venues, what few there are, if any anymore, who's going to book a Cat Stevens tribute? They're not going to get many bums on seats. And he argued the toss that it would work. And here we are about 2 years later, and he still hasn't got this tribute up and running. And every time I've seen him, I'll say, "How's that Cat Stevens tribute coming along?" And he sort of looks at me because he knows that I was kind of right. It's all well and good wanting to do it because you're a fan of the music and you love the songs and you like the artist, but if you're doing tributes to make money, a Cat Stevens tribute isn't the thing to go for, really, to be honest. Well, at least that's my take on it. Okay. That doesn't mean I know anything about what I'm talking about, but you know, I play in tributes primarily to earn money. The Cat Stevens tribute isn't going to cut it from the way I look at it. Mike, have you seen Cece at Anderton's? Good bass player. Yeah, I know Cece. We've crossed paths many occasions at London bass guitar shows. Haven't heard from her. I think she does her thing. I do mine, and there's loads of great bass players out there with bass channels on YouTube. But I'll be completely honest, I really don't get any time to watch any of them. I'm so busy concentrating on my own thing that it's very hard to sort of stick your head above the parapet and look at what your competitors, polite way of putting it, are doing. You know, I don't look at anything on Scott's bass lessons. Danny Sapko's stuff I've seen because it's appeared in my shorts feed, and I might see a couple of videos in a like 3 or 4 on the bounce. But yeah, it's funny. A lot of us, we're all doing our own thing. Same as like being a bass player in a band. You very rarely pass other bass players unless there's multiple bands on a gig or a festival. But if you're a gigging bass player, it's very rare that you cross paths with other bass players because there's only one bass player play. A bit different with guitar players because you might have a band that's got 2 guitar players in and people sort of dep and cover and what have you. But yeah, but no, I know CC and she knows me, and that's it really. Yeah. Uh, Gareth, I sometimes dep with a jam tribute band. It's definitely improved my pick playing as it should. Love Bruce Foxton's playing. Yeah, legendary. He's been ill lately. Sorry to hear. Get well soon, Bruce. You won't be watching this, so, but anyway, you put these things out there, you never know, they might stumble across your video by chance. Stacy, Peace Train Running, Cats equals Cat Stevens and the Doobie Brothers tribute. Yeah. Again, it's like doing a Doobie Brothers tribute. You know, it's going to have a limited appeal to a limited audience. As good as it might be, I can't see that making a lot of money. Now, if you combine the Doobie Brothers tribute with like a Michael McDonald tribute and perhaps a Steely Dan tribute, that might work. That'd be a good show for people. I once had a conversation with a musical colleague, and we're talking a long time ago, we're talking like 30 years ago, and we talked very seriously about putting together an Earth, Wind and Fire, Kool and the Gang, and Chic tribute band, which would be like the 3 ideal disco bands. And it never got off the ground, sadly. We did everything except piece the band together. We did all the prep, what we wanted the costumes to look like, what the set list was going to be, how we were going to do it, which agents we were going for, all of that. And I was well up for it. I was about 23 at the time, and we just didn't do it. Would have been great, but there's loads of other bands have done it since, so it's a bit pointless really. But it would be like the ultimate disco band, and you just focus on those 3 bands. There's plenty of material there for a whole 2-hour set, you know. Gareth Harrison, with the Jam tribute, we play a lot of the modern scooter rallies. Good one. Ideal band for that, you know. Pair you with a Who tribute and you're laughing, I would suggest. Very good. You can hear the dog barking. Don't worry. He's probably got the hump that the fox is in the garden and he wants to go out there and chase him out, but it's not happening. So if you want to come on the live chat and join in by video, you can. Drop me an email, brooksy'sbasscorner@gmail.com, and I will send you an put teeth back in. Hey, okay, I will send you an invite. You then click on the invite and it will bring you through into the holding area, and then I can involve you. Any more gig talk in terms of best bands you've seen, worst bands you've seen, worst artists you've seen? Did anyone apply for Oasis tickets? Did you get them? How much did you have to pay? Let me know. Let me know. If you're looking at new gear, What are you looking at? What's got everyone's heads turning at the moment? It seems to be a bit quiet on the gear front, but then it is. Well, it's in September now, but no doubt we'll see a load of new gear in the build up to Christmas, and then we've got NAMM in January. Gareth, Rick Beato has just put up an interview with Tony Levin. I saw that on Facebook while I was eating my dinner earlier. Might be worth a watch. Totally agree. I will be checking it out later for people want to find it. Let me just I'll call it up for you. Hey, I wonder if putting a Rick Beato video link in my live chat might boost it within the algorithm. Let's see. Hey, so if you want to check that out, you can. I'll just post it here. It'll also be in the timestamps. Love a bit of Tony Levin. Excellent. And Rick Beato is always worth a watch, of course. So if you want to check that out from Gareth's recommendation, let's give it a watch. I'll check it out tomorrow. Stacey, Rick Beato is fab. His Michael McDonald interview is beyond amazing. Yeah, it was really good. Actually, I really enjoyed that. His Sting one is good. And his interview with Brian May is good because Brian's a big fan of his. And he goes in a lot of depth with him about a lot of stuff, which is good. Proper interviews, you know, like what I do. And we got the Billy Sheehan one coming up soon. I need to get in touch with the man and line up our first interview that we've done together since July 2021. So we conversed while Billy was here in the UK electronically, and I said, we really need to do a catch-up interview, don't we? He said, yeah, we do, really. I said, well, I'm not going to hassle you during the rest of the tour because you need to keep your head on what's going on, but I'll come back to you once you finish the tour, get your head straight, a couple of weeks at home, and you can give me a roundup of what the final big farewell tour, how it was for you. And he said, that sounds like the perfect idea. I said, good, I'll be in touch. So he's had a couple of weeks at home now, and I'll get in touch with him maybe next week and try and line that up, and we'll get that filmed and up on the channel. Find out exactly what went on the Mr. Big tour. Stacey, oh wow, I'll have to check out the Brian May interview. It's a good one. It's a really good one. I've watched it twice, I think. Yeah, there's a lot of good stuff in there. Well worth checking out. Let's see what we're doing here. Okay. All good. Kevin, have you been playing? Oh, you have been playing bass tracks by Derek Forbes. What a player. Yes. Simple Minds, legendary original bass player. Yeah, he was excellent. Really was. And actually, a lot of the early Simple Minds stuff has got really good bass lines on. And actually, I loved, I kind of joined the Simple Minds thing, 83, maybe. But I mean, my big bands were Queen and Duran Duran at that point, so they were always kind of there. I was aware of them. They were on my radar, much like Level 42 were. And then for me, I really got into Simple Minds. Probably would have been 85, Once Upon a Time album with John Giblin. Now there's a bass player. And, you know, their run of albums from there. So Once Upon a Time, Live in the City of Light, Street Fighting Years, Real Life. That's those 4 or 5 albums. Seriously good. I haven't said that. The stuff before that was really good as well. John Cooper, good to see you. Sorry, a bit late joining tonight. No, you're fine. But here now. Okay, hope you're well. Best artist I've ever seen, apart from Uncle Funk. Bless you. Checks in the post. Prince. Well, I said my piece earlier on in the live chat, you know. Seeing Prince at Wembley for Love Sexy 88, that was groundbreaking for me. Changed my whole outlook on music. Went and bought the whole back catalogue. I can't say anymore. I've said it so many times on the channel. You know, seeing Prince that night was revelation. And of course, Uncle Funk, fabulous, of course. Let me see. I'll try. Let me quickly go through the diary. Actually, tell you when we've got gigs up near you. Wedding. We have got a public show in Bourne, which isn't really near where you are, but it's a bit further up the A1, quite a bit further up the A1. On the 28th of September, then we've got wedding gig. You can't do that. We've got a theatre show in Whittam in Essex on the 11th of October. And then we've got the Decades of Dance first theatre show at South Mill Arts in Bishop Stortford on the 26th of October. Wedding. Right, can't do those. Let me get into December, and we got a public show on the 14th of December at Sawbridgeworth Memorial Hall. We've done Christmas gigs there the past 2 years. Always a blast. So if you want to stick that one in your diary, John, 14th of September, December, about 10 days before Christmas. So if you want to come along, let me know. If you want to come along and not buy a ticket, let me know, and I'll put you on the guest list nearer the time. Just had a flurry of people. Jeffrey Boyle, good to see you. Welcome. Stacey Ann, Promised You a Miracle. Exactly. Great song. Hank Hannewinkle III. Hey, Hank, just found myself here for the first time. Welcome. You're very welcome. Hello from Tulsa, Oklahoma. No worries. Hard to choose best I've seen, but the Killers on Day and Age tour in 2009. Good call. Still to this day, one of the best shows I've ever seen. Excellent. You're very welcome here, Hank. Anytime. We're here every Tuesday up until December the 17th. So feel free to stay with us. And if you want to join in on live chats any other week, feel free. You can join in by video if you wish to do so. You just email me, brooksysbasecorner@gmail.com. I send you an invite, and well, in fact, you'll see a ticker running along the bottom of the screen in a moment. Send me an email. I send you an invite. You click on the invite, and then you come through. But you're very welcome here. We're a friendly bunch, so please feel free to get involved in the chat. Stacey, Promised You a Miracle is a favorite of mine by Simple Minds. Excellent. Gareth Harrison, Waterfront is a great bass line. Yeah, doesn't change. It's a good sample, that. Sorry, that's Playing in the Pocket, even though most of it is one note. I think it's a delay sampler. Friend, so how old was I? 16. I'd probably been playing a year. And I'd just gone to A-level college on the South Coast here in the UK. And there was a guitar player who looked the business. I won't mention his name. He won't be watching, but anyway, at the A-level college I was at, he looked the business. And he was a cool guitar player. He had a digital delay. He had the Dodd or Digitech. And basically it had all the delay stuff, and then you could play it and it would sample it. And he did that, and he did the whole of Waterfront, the guitar parts, and I was blown away. It's like, woo, okay, that's what digital delay is all about. Very good. And yeah, so then when you listen back and you realize Waterfront is literally a dun, 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 you do that for 4, hit the sample button, and go and have a pint. Don't need to sit there doing that. Gareth, so even though most of it is one note, D, of course, it's surprisingly hard to stay in the pocket. It is, because it's a sample. It's what it is. Jeffrey Boyle, thanks, here from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. We're going multinational around the US tonight. Excellent. Stacy, hey Philly, East Coast US representing. That's it. Well, you're all very welcome here. You know the drill. Please give the video a thumbs up. Please leave comments. Please share. It's all very much appreciated. I don't go into the whole subscriber thing because I feel like it's a vanity metric. If you wish to subscribe to the channel, then please, by all means, do so. But I don't sort of ask people to do it anymore. It's great if you do, but I won't sit there and nag you to do it anymore. But likes, comments, and shares are very, very important. If you wish to leave comments on the videos here on the channel, it's really, really helpful. And giving videos a thumbs up is really helpful. And even more so is sharing the video out. So if you see any video here on Brooksy's Bass Corner and you want to shout about it on your social media, point people towards it, it's really handy. Really handy. So feel free to do that, gang, if you wish to do so. Where are we? Here we are. Just checking that the stream health is good. Stream is healthy, apparently. Stream health is excellent. Good. That's what we want. Oh, I need to tag products, don't I? Yes. We got the cap, Space Corner cap. And we've got the long sleeve baseball shirt with the big colourful bass guitar on. So if you want to help the channel out, you can. Feel free to check out Brooksy's Bass Corner merch. Just going, I've got to tag these products in. There's the cap, and where's the top? Ah, it's not on my list. There's the cap. Good start. Where's the top? There was one, the long sleeve baseball shirt. Where's it gone? It ain't showing up. What's that called? Multicolor base logo design. There we go. That's better. There's the fella. It's that, isn't it? So you too can own this apparel. Brooks's Bass Corner cap, long sleeve baseball shirts. That we've got literally, well, there's more than 150 products in the merchandise store. There's about 15 different designs. So feel free, if you want to help the channel and you don't really agree with super chat and super thanks, you'd like something for your money in return, then please feel free to help the channel with merchandise purchasing. It really helps. It's a great way for you to get something out of giving something to the channel, and it works. And the gear's great. Tell them Stacey's bought multiple items from the merchandise store, and some of the fine people on here have as well. Hoodies and t-shirts and mugs and caps seem to be the favored items of merch. So feel free to sort of get your hands dirty and check out the merch links in the description box. Peter Quinlan, good to see you. A little late joining from South Wales. That's okay. Your first gig was Duran Duran 81. Oh, you lucky devil. You saw them at the start, seen them 19 times, the last being Leicester in 2022. That was a hell of a gig as well. Good on you. Well done, Peter. You saw them in 81. You saw the start, my friend. You saw the start. I think I've seen them. Strange Behavior tour, Big Thing tour. Didn't see them on the Big Theatre tour, although I planned to. I've wanted to go to the Docklands gig when the inaugural concert, but I was working, so I couldn't go. So Strange Behavior, Big Thing. Then didn't see them for a very long time. Goodness me. Yeah, it was a very long time. 2004 Wembley. 3. Earl's Court 2005. That's 4. All the other dates then from 2005 through till 2015, I was always gigging when they were playing. So when they did Hammersmith, I was gigging. When they did Shepherd's Bush Empire, I was gigging. So saw them at the O2 for, brain's going, Paper Gods, and then saw them last year for the Future Past at O2. Yeah. You saw, Gareth, you've seen Ocean Colour Scene 5 times. Wow. I would have seen them round about the time when they were big in like 96, 97, 98. I'm not sure I could sit through a whole night of them now, though. Good players and all that. I'm not sure I know enough of the material to make it worthwhile for me. Peter Quinlan, Careless Memories tour. I was at the Docklands gig at the front too. Cool. You've got a Blue Burst 1990 Kabiki, but would swap it for a white one. One of these, you mean? One of those. You can get them sprayed. You can get it redone. Keep it Blue Burst. It's unique colour for Kabikis. There's lots of white ones knocking around, so keep it blue. Funnily enough, you mentioned the Careless Memories tour. We've just cleared out my partner's parents' loft, and in amongst boxes and boxes of old like smash hits and Jackie magazines and just loads and loads of magazines from the early 80s, we found my sister-in-law's original program from the 81 Careless Memories tour. It's here. I'm going to be having a good look at it, and then we'll be seeing how much it's worth, because that sort of stuff now is 43 years old. Stacey, how many times have you seen Toto? Oh, now. Well, I didn't see them enough. That's the problem. And again, one of those bands, every time they toured London, apart from in 92, when I really should have gone and seen them, but I didn't even know the gig was happening. We didn't have the internet back then. So I missed them in 92. 96, they were supporting Tina Turner, so I didn't see them on that. Didn't see them in 99 because I was gigging. Didn't see them in 2002 because I was gigging. Didn't see them in 2006, 7. I was gigging. I saw first time I saw Toto was at Hammersmith in 2011. Then I saw them in 2015 at Hammersmith again. Then saw them. Now we're thinking. 2018. Yeah, 2018 Albert Hall. And then 2019 at the Chelsea Barracks, Chelsea Pensioners gig. So 4 times, not that much, really. Would have liked to have seen them a lot more earlier than I did, but such is life. Let's see if anyone's emailed. Did you know? No, we're going to be a video-free live chat tonight, it seems, which is fine. Peter Quinlan, I still have the program and scarf from 81. My favorite gig ever, though, was Lenny Kravitz in Wolverhampton Civic Centre, 2008. Wow, an amazing performer. Yeah. I've never kind of got into the hyperbole, if that's the right thing, for Lenny Kravitz. He was very hot in the 90s, and I just didn't get it. It felt like it was like women were falling over themselves because of him, but I didn't get that the material stood up to that sort of reaction. I was like, I understood it, who he is, what he is, what his persona is, but I just didn't get the hyperbole. But that could just be me. I mean, I love his material, but I never thought he was like a game changer like Prince would be. Joe Goose, my mate Joe Goose. I knew a chap once that had seen the Police live back in the late 80s. Couldn't have done. Police never gigged after 84 until they came back in 2007. And he said Sting sang out of tune on the whole gig. Although Sting played fretless back then, we're talking early 80s here. Wouldn't have been late 80s. It was the Spectre and the Steinberger on the Synchronicity tour. Steinberger on the Ghost in the Machine tour. So it's probably before that. So we're talking early 80s, Joe. Yeah, so probably 80, 81 back then. So maybe he sang in tune, his bass was out of tune. That's highly likely, isn't it? Because most of their gigs back then were outdoors. So if truss rods were moving, that fretless was going to be well out. I would suggest. Let's see how we're doing. Very good. Very good. Stream is healthy, which is what we like to hear. I think we've currently got 13 viewers on this live chat. You're all very welcome. Good to see you. Good to have you on board. Jogu, Sting got better at bass with age. Yeah, he just played less. I think he was an angry young man and then became a sort of mellow old man. I saw him in 2017 at Hammersmith and his voice was exceptional. But you see, he's taken like 3 days off after each gig because he can afford to pay the crew to just hang around and not do very much. So if you can take 3 days off between a gig to let your voice repair, then yeah, you can sing like you did in your 20s and 30s. But he was great. He was really good. He was always great at comping bass lines. Yeah, composing bass lines. Right. Okay. Yeah. You know, not an overplayer, never overplays. And actually, I had a gig recording of the 1991 Soul Cages tour, which was on Radio 1 at the time. And they're doing Jeremiah Blues, and it's fab, great bass tone. So it's his 62 jazz through alembic preamps, and just sounded great. Gareth Harrison, over West Tone Thunder fretless. Don't play it as much as I should. Dig that fretless out and get playing. I'm going to be doing a series on bass playing soon, and I know I've been promising this for over a year now. I've just got to sit down and finish the script for it. So basically, I don't play fretless bass. I've got 2 fretless basses here. I've never been asked to play fretless, but it's one of those things I'd like to address so that if it did come up, I'm not going at it as a complete amateur, but it can be very time intensive. It takes a lot of practice to do it properly. And I don't like doing things half cocked. So we're going to be doing the Fretless Odyssey here on Brooksy's Bass Corner, following me from point 0 to some point of being able to do it reasonably well, I hope. So keep your eye open for that, Gareth. We can do it together. We'll hold hands learning how to play fretless together. Joe Goose Bass. Yeah, I love the Oslo 90s gigs with Vinny. Yeah. Oslo 93, where he's got precision with a graphite neck, Moses graphite neck. Great bass tone on that, by the way. Peter Quinlan, if you had to pick a favorite bass, what would it be? Oh, here we go. I get this often. Every few weeks. I can't pick a favorite bass. I've got 39 basses here. They all cover different ground, sound different, look different, play different, feel different. My ideal tonally would be an Alembic Series 2, but probably not in the large body, long neck, big headstock format. I'd want it in a smaller thing. So just recently, people, regulars know, I just bought this secondhand. So it's an Alembic Persuader. So people look at it and go, it's not a Persuader, it's a spoiler. It's not. It's a Persuader that was custom ordered. We'll go that way. With humbuckers instead of the PJ setup. A spoiler has a pickup selector, volume, low pass filter. This has 2 volumes and a low pass filter. So I'd like a Series 2 in this medium scale layout. Would work great for me. Who knows if I could ever afford to have a Series 2? We will be getting Micah Thomas from Alembic here for an interview, probably on a live chat. It's probably the best way, or maybe we'll do both, a live chat and an interview as a separate video, and we can talk prices. We did that a couple of weeks ago. We looked at the standard price of a Series 2 Alembic. Now you're looking upwards of about $45,000, as I hear people gulping the world over. Yeah, you heard me right. $45,000 is roughly the price of a Series 2 Alembic. This isn't a Series 2 Alembic. This is a lovely Alembic Persuader with a lovely flame Koa top. And it plays great. I love it. It's very comfortable, easy to play, very enjoyable. Doesn't have the sounds of my 20th anniversary or my Mark King signature, which are hanging on the walls here. But it has its own sound as well as some fairly sort of standard Alembic tonal qualities. But it sounds great, plays great, really comfortable. Love it. Love it. Might try and pin it a little higher so if you can you'll be able to see it if I stand back. But anyway, there we go. That's the way it was, don't we? It's a flame Koa. Strings need changing. Bass needs a little bit of a setup and a spruce up. But trying to pick one bass is really hard, Pete. I mean, I love my Status Empathy. I love my Kabikis. I love my Status Matrix, the Alembics, the Dingwall, Stingrays, Betsy, of course. My GBs. You know, they all do different things. They feel different, play different. I'm fulfilling my dreams here because when I was 16, 17, 18, 19, this is what I wanted, to have an array of instruments that I can pick from. So I ever get called up for things, one-offs, depping, new projects, I can pick from a library of bass sounds. It's lovely. It's what I wanted. There's still some things in here that I haven't got that I probably won't get. And you know, here I am, 52. Next year will be 30 years since I turned professional. I've done a lot of stuff, done 4,500 gigs nearly. And I'm now at a point where I've got all these guitars and all those gigs behind me. I could have done with them. It's always about face, isn't it? But anyway, it's fine. But favorite bass. I mean, tonally, Mark King playing a Series 2 Alembic is as good as it gets for me. Then I'm happy with that. If that's the sound I can have, I'd love it. But I just don't want the giant nature of a full scale 34-inch large body, large headstock Alembic. It's hard work, but lovely. Just I can't, you know, the tones are absolutely fabulous. Tell me, Peter, what's your favorite bass? If you had to pick one bass, what would you pick? And I'll open that up to everyone else. If you got to pick one bass, what would you pick? Kevin saw Steely Dan twice at Wembley. Great band. I bet that was good gigs, Kev. Oh, I bet those were great gigs. Absolutely. Joe Goose, I'm with you. Oh, hold on. I'm with you, Mike. I've owned fretless basses over the years, but never really studied with one. So I'll be with you on this course. Excellent. We've got three of us then. Everyone knows Mike is a JD fanboy. You know that's not true, Joe. Even though there is one now in the rack, of course. I love JDs. They're great. I owned one and it was terrible. The one here is a million times better than the one I had. But when you have a bad bass by a certain brand, it does color your judgment of them. I can't get away from it. But every brand has a dodgy bass here and there. Gareth Harrison, what bass have you been the most disappointed with after you played it? Now there's a thing. Wows. I've played 7 or 8. Never found one that I liked. Never one that I played and thought that's really worth the money. I played a Mark II, maybe a Mark III, 5-string wow in 2001 that I was going to have converted to a fretless, and it was 950 quid, and I didn't buy it. I didn't feel it was worth the money. So let that be a lesson. Hey, my JD that I had was a huge disappointment because the guy I bought it from, even though I bought it really cheap, he'd ripped the circuit out, which I didn't know until after the event. The ebony fingerboard was pulling apart in several places, and the neck was like a banana, constantly on the move. I'd spend ages setting that neck up to play. you just put it on, start playing, and within 10 minutes it started to go again. I just couldn't get the thing to work. It was horrible. Didn't have too many disappointments when I was doing reviews for the mags. There was the infamous Warwick Infinity. Told this story a million times. A lot of people know it anyway. So I slated this bass. It was awful to play. Not unlike an Alembic in that the two-piece bridge was really inlaid, which even though it's 34-inch scale, the bass was like, the neck was like out here. My arm was totally extended trying to play an F, and it was horrible. It gave it a it wasn't a scathing review. I just didn't give it a high rating. And Warwick got the utter hump about it. But it was horrible. What I didn't know was the magazine had spec'd it as a prize and then asked me to review it. And they'd got loads of people to play it at a bass show in Birmingham. This would have been 2006, I think. And all the players that played it said, that is really horrible, awful. I reviewed it. I said, it's not good. Editor said, I'll stand by that. And then Warwick got the hump. So that was a major disappointment. Let's think. I've had other Warwicks that some have been great, some have been disappointing. I'm trying to think. We had some Adam Black cheap basses through in 2005. Those were probably the lowest ratings I ever gave for basses. They were like 40%, low 40s. They were horrible. They just weren't finished well, but they were cheap. They were what they were. Custom shop Fenders. Never played one that spoke to me, that impressed me at all. Sadowskis. I played one that a guy called Platypus on Bass Chat sold in 2009, and I went round to buy it, and I already had a T bass here, one of the original 15, and I didn't think there was anything that Sadowski was doing that the T bass didn't do already. So why am I going to pay 900 quid for it? And I should have just bought it and sold it on 10 years later. I'd have probably made about 3 grand, but there we go. But I've played lots of Sadowskis, and they've never impressed me enough to ditch the jazz that I had at the time. Just personal preference. I'm not saying they're bad, they're not. But you pick a bass up and it either works for you or it doesn't. And you can't force it. If a bass is hard to play and isn't speaking to you, you can change things, but it's not necessarily going to make it improve the situation. You're always going to have that feeling it's not quite doing what I want it to do. So there's that. Other than that, not too. I mean, there was the occasion I put a scan up on the Facebook page and on YouTube and the socials a while back. We did a bass. It wasn't a shootout, but it was a comparison between a Bells and Whistles Roscoe and a Zoot. I think was the Roscoe review in itself. Anyway, the Roscoe had every exotic option that you could have from Roscoe at the time, and the thing was horrible. It was tonally, it was just fighting against itself, and it had this horrible upper mid bark that you just couldn't EQ out. And Andy Kyriakides has come onto my bass chat. That has to be a first. That has to be. I don't think you've come onto any of the live chats, and I've done 78. Well, how about that? I'm blown away. I'm gobsmacked, actually. Well done, sir. Yeah, I can't believe you've come onto one of my live chats. How about that? Who'd have thought? Yeah, so other than that, when I think back at all the basses I've reviewed, in fact, let me go onto the hard drive, quickly whiz through the list of reviews I did or have done. And I'll see if anything jumps out immediately. There were a couple of Ritters I looked at. I could see where the money went, but I didn't think the sounds justified the price tags. About 6 grand each. I think one was 4.5, one was 6. Not overly impressed. We had a bass actually that was a real surprise by a company called Blasius. They were at the bass show in 2017. They had a model called the Barley, and I remember playing that bass. Absolutely blew me away, and it wasn't that expensive. I think it was about 2.5 grand. It was absolutely astounding. I was really like, wow, 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 wow. Loved it. So Dan Electros never impressed me at all. Don't get it. Never understood it. Don't see what the appeal is. It's got to be a look thing, 'cause it certainly can't be tonally. Okay. Thunderbirds, Gibson Thunderbirds, Epiphone Thunderbirds, not for me. Very disappointing. But you know, you either like their idiosyncrasies or you don't, and I don't. So if you want to play a Thunderbird, that's your privilege. F basses were good, but again, big 6-string basses, it's not my thing really. I would have liked to have played an F bass 4, but never had one to try out. Fret Kings, didn't get what all the fuss was about. I think they're still going, trying to peddle their wares, but don't get it. Don't get it. It's just more of the same sort of thing that JHS have produced for years. And when they came out in 2008, I'm just looking at the date on the reviews, didn't get it. Just didn't understand what all the fuss was about. Hofners, they are what they are, as we were saying earlier. You know, they are what they are. As long as what they are is what you want, you're fine. But I don't get the high price tags on something that limiting. Don't get it. Lace Helix bases, cool. They didn't last long. Yeah, 2009. They were everywhere for about 12 months and they completely disappeared. Let's have a look here. No, that's good. Rickenback, as we already discussed earlier in the live chat. See, that was the odd thing with the Roscoe, that was all the bells and whistles. About 3 months later, I got a much cheaper Roscoe Century, which was like 2.5 grand cheaper. No bells and whistles, fairly bog standard in terms of the range of basses they were offering at the time. And it felt, played and sounded a million times better than the Roscoe with all the bells and whistles on. Don't know why, couldn't tell you. I think it had a Bartolini circuit, maybe Bartolini pickups as well. But it just played and sounded the business. I have played, and it pains me to say it, some shocking Spectre American models that were priced around 5 grand, and the finishing was atrocious. The routing was atrocious, and I didn't get how that got past quality control and didn't get sort of taken off the sending out production line. Yeah, so that's about it really. There's nothing devastatingly bad. Generally, most bases are of a certain standard, but yeah, so there we go. Right, let's catch up on these messages. Bill Clements, good to see you. Welcome back. Hank, a gig that was life-changing for me was the White Stripes on the Elephant Tour in 2003. Wow, you saw them back then. Got to see them once more in 05 too. Okay, cool. Cool. John Cooper, do you ever use multiple basses on a single gig? Yes. I always carry 2 basses to a gig regardless. And I think someone asked me this last week. if I'm doing a tube gig where I've got to get on the tube and go into London, before COVID, I used to always use double gig bags. So I'd have 2 basses in one bag, but it just got to a point where they were so heavy and cumbersome that now if I'm doing a gig on the tube, I'll just take 1 bass and a set of spare strings. But if I'm driving or in a bus or whatever, I'll always take 2 basses. And now with like Uncle Funk, John, I'll use 2 basses if we're doing a theatre show. So if it's a 2-setter, chances are I'll use the Warwick Bootsy bass for the first set, and I'll use one of my GBs for the second set, usually the white one, because it's got the sound to light LEDs on it. Other bands, usually I'll just stick with 1 bass and I've got another one as a spare. But if I'm doing something where the second bass needs to be something specific, then fine. You know, that's what the second bass is there for. But it just depends what the project is, you know. Like with when I do Queen tributes, I take 2 precision. Always get the teeth in, mate. 2 precisions. So I take the black one, the 86 copy one, which is down here, and I'll also take this, which is the FSR 70s Mexican. But they sound totally different, feel totally different. The necks are totally different. This one has got far more presence and grit, growly mid-range. It's an ash body. The black one's got an alder body. And this has got a 70s pickup in it. I think always at 69, something like that. Anyway, it's meant to be period correct. It was a Fender special release back in 2017. But it sounds completely different to any other precision that I've got here at Brooks Towers. So yeah. Hank, I have a Fender Mustang bass, very cool. I bought back in 2016. I love it. I have labella flats on it. Cool. Nothing wrong with flats, my friend. I don't mind some flats on certain basses here as well. I've actually got flats on my Mike Dirnt Fender down here, which takes a lot of the snarliness away from it. That doesn't mean I don't string it up with round wounds occasionally if the gig requires it, you know. Labella flats, what's not to like, you know? Joe Goose, how can a Wowell not be worth £8,000? Well, it was 2001, Joe, and back then you could pick Wowells up for 600 quid, and you probably could have picked up a whole load of JDs as well. It was just, so Britpop had passed, and we were going through the sugar-coated pop dance drum and bass kind of thing at the time. So Bass Exotica really had passed by. Little did we know a guy by the name of Justin Chancellor was about to hit the bass scene with Tool, and prices of Wowells were about to go skyward. So yeah, those were the days. Gareth Harrison, I never found a Rickenbacker I could get on with. Loved the sound and look of them. The look I'm not sold on either way. The sound I love in the hands of the right player, but in terms of owning one, playing one, and trying to keep one set up, not for me. Not for me. Peter Quinlan, I've owned or owned. You've owned or owned. You mean you own or owned? Yeah. Status Warwick, West Tone, SB 700, SB 1000 Arias, Stingray, and an amazing mayonnaise. But the Kabiki wins, stunning build quality, and I always get asked about it at gigs. The only thing with Kabikis that lets them down, I've said it a million times, I'll say it again, there's no mid control, no mid EQ. Yes, the Fenders that have the 4-position switch have a mid trim pot, but that's not on the regular bells and whistles 6-position selector, and it needed mid EQ, and it just doesn't have it. Obviously, you can run it through an EQ pedal or a preamp pedal. I wanted it on the bass. Other than that, love them. Then my mate Andy Kiriakides, good to see you, Squire. There we are. Hope you're well. Hope life's good. Hope your mum's okay. Bill Clements, truly regret selling my Padula 5. I hear you, Bill. Flats and tapes almost exclusively for me these days. That's okay. That's okay. They have a sound all their own. You know, not for everyone, not for every type of music, but if they work for you, fabulous. Excellent stuff. Patrick Sweeney, I have a fretless which I use occasionally. I might take it to our jam night as the house bass, or is that maybe a bit cruel? No, I think you should do it, and you should set up a camera to film the night's proceedings. There is YouTube content there to be had. Put that up on TikTok. That'll fly. That will. And Conk, it throws me that you're on my live chat. You still can't pronounce my surname correctly after 32 years. Kyriakides. Is that right? 32 years. It is 32 years. You're right. Yeah. Scary, isn't it? Kyriakides. Is that better? Crumble in the morning. Of course. There we go. I know it's Kyriakides. I just, as it rolls off the tongue, it's Kyriakides for me. It's too many wimpies in Morden. Oh, actually, I saw Shapeless Form last week. He refers to Morden as Mordor, which I thought was fairly apt. Oh, yeah, he's got that right. That's a good observation, that. That wasn't bad at all. So here we are. It's 5 to 11. I think I may start to wind the live chat down shortly. Oh, we got 17 viewers. Maybe I won't. Maybe we'll keep going for a little while. Hey, got to enjoy it when there's lots of people on. So if you're just coming into the live chat, we've been here for 3 hours, and much chat has been had. So if you're new to the live chat, new to the channel, come on in. We're talking basses, bass guitars, bass effects, bass accessories, gig bags, strings, leads, great bass players, albums with great bass players on. You got any problems with gear, or trying to build a new pedal board, or going for your first audition as a bass player? We'll try and help you. If I don't know the answer or the solution to what you're asking, I'll open it up to the fine people here on the live chat. You can come in via the text chat if you wish. Alternatively, if you're feeling really daring, you can join in by the video option. So basically, if you send an email, brooksy'sbasscorner@gmail.com, I'll send you an invite. You click on the invite, and it brings you through here, and then I can add you to the live chat. It's as simple as that. Peter Quinlan, I'd love to buy a Mayonnaise custom PI. I tell you, Mayonnaise makes some great basses. I always enjoyed reviewing them for the magazine. And if we were doing a bass review day at Kevin, good night. Till next week. Thank you. Thanks for tuning in. I always enjoyed if we were going to First Direct to do a bass review day, because there'd be just loads of Mayonnaise stuff. And generally, we'd have a long enough gap between Mayonnaise reviews that there was always, let's do another one. Let's do another one. So yeah, I agree with you. Patrick Sweeney never got on with Rickenbackers personally. Too many sharp edges and things to catch yourself on for my liking. I'm hearing you, Patrick. I likewise love Chris Squire's tone. Exactly. There's a lot of jagged edges and metal on Rickenbackers. And anyone that wants proof of what a nightmare they are to set up properly, watch Dave's World of Fun Stuff. And he absolutely loathes them. But he'll set them up for people, but he'll point out all the issues and all the things that are wrong with them. And I kind of have to agree. I've never had to set one up, and I just don't want to. If someone said to me, "Can you set my bass up?" It was a Rickenbacker, I'd probably go, "No, go somewhere else. Not for me. Not for me at all." Sadly. But it's the way it is. So, Andy Kyriakides, what's news on bass in your life? Are you out playing? Are you rehearsing? Are you practicing? Which is what you should be doing, frankly. It's all out of tune. Oh, it's closer. It'll be choppy for you people anyway. You won't hear it properly. Yeah. Too right. Where are we? We have 12 people on at the moment. Thank you very much. It's good to see you all. So as I've said before, we're doing every Tuesday through till December the 17th. So every Tuesday, 8 p.m, we are here. The only one when we're not, when we're doing the Wednesday or the Monday. Just bear with me, I'll just check the old diary. Is the 10th of December because I'm out on an ABBA tribute show that night. So I think we've moved it to the Wednesday. Is that right? 2 seconds. I'll go into the booked in live chats and I can tell you. Yes. So live chat 92. It might seem like it's a long way off, but believe me, it will come round soon enough. Is on the Wednesday, the 11th. At the current time. That's not to say another gig might come in and I've got to move it again. But I'll keep you posted. I will keep you posted. We'll see what happens nearer the time. So yeah. So as I said, there's going to be a load of new content going up next couple of days. I've been posting on TikTok today. There are a load of short vertical ratio videos that were actually scheduled to go up on TikTok a while back. And I found out today they didn't go. They just sat there and they hadn't gone up. They hadn't published. So I've been rectifying that. So those videos will also be appearing on Instagram over the next couple of days. And then the new stuff will start appearing. So there's a bunch of straight out of the box effect pedal reviews. And we've got some bass reviews. Obviously, you'll see the Viv Wilcock H22 bass that I showed you earlier, the short scale. There'll be the Snakebite Neil Murray bass center basses as well. And then various other bits and bobs from the collection will be appearing. And there's some vintage interviews to go up as well. So there's plenty of content. It's all coming your way. Just keep tuning into the channel, and you'll see the stuff as it comes up. Hank, I may have missed the Oasis discussion. That was earlier on in the live chat. You can watch it when we finish. You can watch any of this on catch up. All the previous live chats are available as well. If there was one, it was minor, but I managed to snag a couple of tickets for Manchester. Excellent. Being a lifelong fan, never got to see them. Very excited to come back to the UK. Excellent. Well, let us know when you're over and we'll try and hook up somewhere. I'm not going. I'm not going to any of the gigs. I do play an Oasis tribute band now and again, though. So I appreciate the appeal, and you know, I enjoyed playing the songs, but I'm not a fan of them. I lived through their posturing and over the top nonsense the first time round. I'm certainly not going to go through it again. That's for sure. By putting money in their pocket, but it's a money grab. We all know that, and the question is, can they save themselves from beating each other into a pulp before the gigs happen? That's the question. We will see. Patrick, have you ever played at any festivals where some of the acts, dare I say, might be miming? Yes. As seems to be the current trend with a lot of well-known vocalists. Yes, I've seen all that. We did one. Ooh, now. Was it last year? I think it was last year. We did an Uncle Funk gig. And yeah, solo act playing with backing tracks, and it was fairly obvious they were miming. It happens, but it's up to the organizers whether they're willing to accept that or not. You know, some people are, some people aren't. Some people don't give it away until they're there doing it, and they've got their own sound man on the sound desk, and they're sort of sorry, got to raise the hand. They're doing all this, looking like they're busy. And actually, all they're doing is turning the track up and down. And the person that's allegedly singing, they ain't singing, they're miming. So yeah, it happens quite a lot. It's a money grab. some money grab, especially with the older acts that have lost their voices. So rather than embarrass themselves, they mime. Normally, though, if it's a band situation, you'll find the band are playing, but the vocal track is mimed. That can happen. So yeah, it's out there. It's amazing what you see when you're working. Truly. Oh yes. Well, we can carry this on for about another 10 minutes. So it's 11:05 here in London. Here in the UK, it's live chat 58. 58. What am I talking about? 78, you clown. 78. Alembic boy, welcome. Good to see you. It's been a while. I've just taken the Alembic off, actually, funnily enough. The Alembic Persuader. So you want to see it, you'll have to, once the live chat finishes, you'll have to go back and you'll see it. But yeah. So we'll do another 10 minutes, I think. So got any questions? Fire them off. Let's see what you guys want to talk about. No one's joining in on the video tonight, that's for sure. So that's all good. That's all good. Excellent. So we will be back next Tuesday, same time, same place, 8 o'clock, London town. Love the chat. It's been a while. It has. I can't remember last time you were on here, actually. It's definitely been a while. I've had to turn the volume of my voice down a bit. Someone's just gone to bed. The lights are all off. So thank you, Stacey. It's been truly fabulous. Well done. I can't do it without all of you. So well done, you lot, for keeping it going. Thank you very much. So if you want to help the channel, you can do so in the description box below. There are affiliate links for the Base Center here in the UK, vidIQ, StreamYard, Top Cashback, Amazon, Andertons, Gear for Music, and Toman. So if you've got any bass related purchases, go to the assorted retailers. And even if you're just buying strings, leads, gig bag, pedal, it all helps. All those affiliate commissions help keep the channel running. You Alembic boy, I couldn't get my chat to work, but Google now. Okay, very good. Stacey, I'll jump in, but am at the pharmacy pulling a tiny shift. Quite. Not to worry. We can't expect the video chat to fire every week. It's okay. And actually, the conversation's been fairly full on tonight, so that's all good. It's been a struggle to keep up. So next week, I will work out what topic of discussion is going to be. If you if you look at the video title for next week, which will be live chat 79, he says, hoping he is talking sense. Yes, 79 next week. I'll work out what we're going to be talking about. Oh, lots of messages flying in. Bill Clements, another good one. Cheers all. Thanks, Bill. Take it easy. Patrick, I'm sure your customers wouldn't mind, Stacey. No, they might take offense at seeing me. Lembic boy, good, not Google. Oh, right. I love the chat. I couldn't get my chat to work, but good now. Right, got it. Very good. Like I said earlier, some of the past week's live chats have taken off in the YouTube algorithm. One of the chats a couple of weeks ago has now had, I think on the night we had about 110 views, and now 4 or 5 weeks later it's had somewhere in the region of about 1100, I think, maybe more. Yeah, it's working towards 1200 views. So thank you is all I can say on that front. Thank you very much, especially the people that are watching the live chats after the event. But thank you. It's very much appreciated. Lembic boy, keyboard player's left hand syndrome. just a bit. Not to worry. So yeah, so what have I got coming up? So we've got the new content going up over the next couple of days. I've got all the song practice for the new Uncle Funk theatre show. Has to be done by the end of play on Saturday because we've got 8-hour rehearsal on Sunday, where we're running literally everything. So it's going to be a bit of a frantic weekend. Then we've got an Uncle Funk gig on Monday, rare Monday gig, daytime gig as well, down in Peckham in South London, Southeast London, kind of between the two. And then next week, the trumpet player from Uncle Funk gets married. So we're all off to her wedding. So that'll be entertaining. And then we kind of get back into regular gig calendar. So what we got coming up? So I've got Queen tribute in Billingshurst down towards Brighton on the 21st of September. And then we've got an Uncle Funk public show on the 28th of September in Bourne, Lincolnshire. And we've got a couple of wedding gigs. And then we've got an Uncle Funk theatre show in Whittam on Friday, the 11th of October. Then we've got some, then I've got a Queen tribute on the 25th in Plymouth. And then we've got the first Decades of Dance, Uncle Funk's Decades of Dance theatre show at South Mill Arts Centre in Bishop Stortford on the 26th of October. So if you're in the surrounding districts and local vicinity, if you want to come down, let me know. I will have access to guest list and tickets and passes and all that caper. So I'm more than happy to get people in if they wish to come along. John Cooper, thanks, Mike. Got to go. I had my first gig with my new status on Thursday. Excellent. Corporate gig at the London Olympic Park. Excellent. We'll let you know how it goes. We'll be waiting for an update next week, John. Okay, it's coming round to about 11:15. We've done 3.25 hours. The old Hobson's is starting to take a bit of a battering. So on that note, I'm going to wind down. Thank you very much, everyone, for attending tonight's live chat, getting involved. Andy Kyriakides, thank you for appearing. That's a first. In 78 live chats, he has appeared. Thank you very much. I'm honoured. To everyone else, thank you for all your messages, all your responses. Please give the video a thumbs up. Feel free to share the video out, leave comments. If you're watching this on playback after the event and the chat's finished, you can still get involved. Leave a comment. I'll come back to you as soon as I get notification from YouTube that you are leaving a comment. Thank you for all the thumbs ups, all the likes, all the shares. It really means a lot. Thank you to all the new subscribers on the channel. Welcome aboard. New content going out this week. We'll be back for live chat 79 next Tuesday. Same place, same time, 8 o'clock here, London town, here in the UK. Lembic Boy, looking forward to watching in full now. It's in my diary. Time is better for me. I do love and miss these when I see I've missed them and watch them later. You can watch them as much as you like. It's all good. And actually watching after the event goes towards helping the channel, helping the video, boosting it in the algorithm. It's all good. There we go. Good night all. Take it easy. I'll see you next week, next Tuesday. Look after yourselves. Have a great week. Hope if you've got gigs, enjoy them. Play your asses off. On that note, take it easy. There. Take it easy. I'll see you next week. All the best.